Yep.
Oh, legit.
Alrighty. So we probably should have started the stream a while ago, but whatever. We'll get started now.
Cutting right to the action. I need to be closer. All right.
Yep.
All right.
Right in front of your.
Just fillet this microphone.
If you cannot kiss your microphone, you're not close enough.
All right. I'm not ready to take this step in our relationship yet.
Well, unfortunate. All right, so today we are starting Wednesday Night Modern. First up on our stream is Salvador and Johnny. So Salvador Cortez and Jonathan Luna. Johnny is either on Infect or Counters Company, and I am pretty sure that Sal's probably on Abzan or Jund, but I don't actually know for sure. He's definitely not on Humans, as that deck has been lent out to someone else.
Unless he de-lent it. But probably not.
Probably not. So Sal recently got his RPTQ win last week. This weekend we also got Mikkel and Seahawk getting wins, and the week before that was Sam Poncher. But Johnny's also been doing pretty well. He top 8'd a couple RPTQs already with Infect mostly. So he's been doing fairly well recently with Infect.
And he's probably the guy you're most familiar with seeing in this booth or bathroom or whatever it is we're in right
formerly now. A bathroom.
All right, yeah. Well,
I mean, there's still the sink.
Yeah, there's still a sink in here.
But yeah, so that's going to be our first feature match. On the backup, we have Casey versus Anthony. Casey is probably playing something. I mean, it's like a Zoo deck or an Infect or something. And Anthony plays Storm.
Yeah.
So that is our backup feature. I believe Sal won the die roll?
Yeah, Sal won. He got an 8.
All right, so Sal's on Infect. On Abzan. He does get a large opportunity here just to hit the turn 1 Thoughtseize or Inquisition.
Yeah, discard spell going first. Pretty big deal. We conveniently cannot see those life total die, but that shouldn't matter too much.
No. Well, we still don't know actually what they're playing, so we'll find out.
Yeah, we could just stumble into like the taking turns mirror or something.
Hey man, that's just what I want to do in all my formats is
take a lot of turns and cast some
make it so the Magic has become a single player game.
Yeah. See, that's not what they're talking about when they refer to multiplayer formats. They're actually talking 1v1.
No.
Yeah,
we're talking about 1v0. Your opponent just stopped making decisions like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Sal on a quick mull 6.
I'll take a mulligan. Probably didn't find any lands or all lands or something.
And Luna's
like
on.
Johnny's on. I saw Company.
Yeah. Landware Elves. He's on Elves today.
Yeah. Ooh.
Probably. He usually plays Jund Elves, but it's Elves nonetheless. Elves one of the 2 major creature combo decks in this format, and probably the less popular one at the moment.
Presuming that it is combo Elves.
Yeah, presuming it is combo Elves. Even if it isn't combo Elves, you're still going to see Companies and Azuris and generating
a lot of mana.
Lots of mana. All the mana.
All right, I'm all about it.
And then casting or activating Overrun like twice, and then hitting your opponent for like 140 or something.
Yeah.
I think my record was 121 without going infinite.
I'm sorry you counted. Yeah, the combo Elves is Dan's game. All about.
And it is Jund.
Of the pack.
Turn 1 Inquisition. So that's a lot of companies and lands. It is Jund Elves and a Nettle Sentinel. You're definitely taking the Landware Elves.
Yeah.
That's definitely the only card that does anything in that hand. Oh, actually, only 19.
Yeah, he only got a basic swamp.
I'm surprised that Sal isn't shocking against any of Johnny's decks. His life total is not usually that relevant.
Yeah, maybe just playing it safe. Maybe his hand is all the color he needs.
That's also possible. Yeah,
okay, so confirming. Yeah, so taking Landware Elves without this, Johnny's hand doesn't really go anywhere too fast. He has a lot of expensive stuff that he can't really get rid of.
He did draw another land, though, so that's going to be pretty good for him.
Yeah, but it's still pretty slow. Oh wait, no, we knew about that.
We knew about the Nettle Sentinel. The lands are going to help. Sal, not on a lot of action, but we're going to see a Thoughtseize. He's going to see that the land was drawn in 2 companies in the Azuri, so...
You probably just take the Azuri, right?
I think you take a company.
You take a company? Okay.
I think you can beat the Azuri. I think beating the company is a lot harder.
Okay.
In your deck full of 1-for-1s, getting 2-for-1 is just...
Yeah, I guess you're right.
A lot more effort. And we're going to see some Nettle Sentinel beats, but that card is not untapping next turn.
It could. Well, no, it should, right? Yeah, he's going to play an Azuri. Well, I mean, he might die, but...
Sure. I mean, the issue is like even after you cast the Azuri, it's likely going to get path, and it looks like Sal's on Abzan, not
Okay, it's
Jund.
actually on the Abzan. Okay, well that's the real reason why he got a swamp, was so that we didn't know what he was playing.
Yeah, just to throw us for a loop, I guess.
Yeah, that's absolutely what it is.
The heavy discard hands tend to be a lot less good when you're also on a mulligan. Like, they're much more powerful when your opponent's on a mulligan, but when you're giving up a ton of equity to do so, then you're kind of running through a spot where you're just like running out of cards that matter.
Yeah, but on the other hand, getting the double discard against like the Coco hand is pretty
this
good.
could be a Lily. Liliana of the Veil would probably just have to minus to kill the Nettle Sentinel.
I don't know. Do you plus it? You know he either. I think you actually plus it here if he has it.
No, it's just Lingering Souls.
Okay,
that's way less good. Lingering Souls doesn't really do anything here. Like, it puts 2 blockers down, but it just means that the Nettle Sentinel is going to stay home, and if Johnny draws a land, he's going to cast a company on the following turn anyways. So I wouldn't say that Sal is in the best shape. Oh god, it's Traverse Abzan.
Alrighty. Do you have Death Shadows in this?
No, there are no Death Shadows in the list. If there were Death Shadows, you would have seen him aggressively fetch Shock.
Yeah, I guess so, huh?
He's just playing for Traverse the Ulvenwald to search for things in his deck.
So what do we think the red's for? Is that like Bloodbraid Elf or something now?
It's definitely just Bloodbraid Elf and maybe some bolts.
I like Bolt Elves. I'm on board with that.
That I am less on board with that. Elves isn't really a deck that produces a lot of red mana.
Yeah, but Bolt only needs 1 red mana.
Yeah, but you need all the green mana.
Alright, so turns out Johnny is actually playing Jund.
Yeah, he is on Jund Elves. Typically, the red-green elves will play the black anyways for...
Shaman in the pack?
Yeah, Shaman the pack as one of your high-impact kind of cascade targets.
Okay.
He is attacking. That's a... And
yeah,
is this a chump?
Yeah.
Why would you
I'll
chump?
take a snap chump. Probably worried about his life total.
No, but you could trade.
No, that's an elf druid. That's an arch druid. It's a 3/3.
Oh, it's an arch druid?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was the Azuri.
No. He drew the arch druid.
I don't recognize that art.
Is there only one arch druid art?
Is there? I don't know.
Get arch druid up on the screen.
I guess there is, but is that an Elvish arch druid? It looks weird to me.
Yeah, it is. It has the glowing green stick. Oh, there's a new one that just came out. Alright, press the button that makes that appear in the stream. Oh, browser source. There it is. Oh, never mind. Yeah, see, that is it. It looks more red in the stream, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so Sal has to kill that because otherwise it's going.
No, that Nettle Sentinel does not untap.
Yeah, that doesn't untap. I mean, it might not matter if he's going to play a...
Well, it looks like he's casting these already pre-combat anyways.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
Yeah.
He's we drew a second arch druid.
Sure. Just jump.
Yeah, okay, just get through these
Johnny's
ones.
at 16. Is there another removal spell for this arch druid?
Yeah, and Sal's at 10 apparently. On Master of the Fells.
Must have missed some shocks.
I guess so. He's kind of playing a little bit loose.
That's his graveyard.
His life total.
Does he have any cards left in his hand? Yeah, Delirium is online.
Yeah.
That was never the concern here. But it looks like Sal's hellbent, so Johnny's be able to cast a company here. The one awkward thing about playing company or Bloodbraid Elf deck is that you kind of lower the number of good hits in your deck.
Yeah, I guess so.
Elvish.
Elvish
Mystic.
Okay. I don't remember. Yeah, not familiar with that art.
That's the promo art, I believe.
Lame.
From fairly recently.
Super lame.
Begone, Elvish Archer.
I mean, he's still on the board. It's relevant.
Be gone from the stream. 4 mana. This is the company.
Yep. Cast company. What's he get?
I see an Azuri.
Was that Azuri?
I'm pretty sure that was Azuri.
2 Nelson Nulls, I think.
Let's see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Double Shaman the Pack is lethal.
Yeah, that's just game. That's why I'm kind of surprised that Sal was playing so loose with his life total, because you saw him fetch black. You know that's in the deck, right?
And it looks like it's just an Arch Druid and a Visionary.
Okay, so he draws a card.
No mana floating for Johnny, though, so he is basically just left with the 1 Nettle Sentinel attack for 4.
Yeah. Ooh, unless he drew a Mana Dork.
He could. If he has a Heritage Druid in hand, then he can theoretically keep going. But
That'd be a really good draw.
that sounds unnecessarily risky right now.
I mean, do you think that Sal runs main deck Damnation?
I mean, probably not.
Pretty sure he probably doesn't, right?
Well, that's not a good draw.
Okay, well,
The hand is definitely two Azuris and like
okay, you drew
and-
the Shaman of the Pact.
sure
Shaman of the Pack.
you have to take Shaman the pack.
Yeah, otherwise you die.
Well,
But,
you die anyways. Like
Yeah,
he casts Azuri and then he gets Overrun and that's lethal.
yeah.
Because the Overrun is adding 15 power to the board, but subtract 3 because you have to tap the Mystic or Archer to cast it. So that's still 12.
I don't think it matters. I think you just play the Azuri
Well,
overrun attack with as much as you have,
and
then even if
that's
it's-
definitely lethal.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's not good enough, you just do it again next turn, right?
Yeah. Well, land makes it
Okay. that makes
easier.
it- yeah, you get a little more damage.
So Overrun, that pays the
I think.
entire 5. That's in for a lot.
Yeah, he's really getting
9 plus 4 is 13. Plus 12 is 25 trample damage.
Sal skips it up.
Sal has 5 or 6 toughness on the board, so he goes to -9.
Incredible.
He is dead. So post board, we're definitely gonna see things like Flame Tendrils, Damnations if he has them, extra spot removal if he has them.
Yeah, Sal just wants anything that kills an elf, and things that kill a lot of elves.
Yeah. I mean, like, the main way you beat elves in general is just never letting them get a board in the first place. Having the sweepers is nice, but once they can get committed to the board anyways, sometimes your sweepers is not going to be good enough anymore. So you have to be able to stop them from getting on board first, and then have the sweepers like a contingency for how you deal with the elves board.
Right.
Otherwise, you're going to run into an issue where there's this, like, they start drawing too many cards, or they have an Azuri and you can't actually spot removal anything anymore.
Yeah.
And this is a match where Damnation is going to be key.
Conveniently hoses
Regeneration. But so are the Flame Tendrils if you can drop it down before a Archer hits the battlefield.
Yeah.
Or even if there's just one Archer on the battlefield, it'll still play.
Yeah, it still takes that guy out. Do you think Johnny's on the new Lord?
Bugler?
Yeah. Is that what it is?
There's like a 0% chance he's on Bugler because it's white.
No, the new Lord.
Oh, the new Lord?
Yeah.
That's actually possible.
The
In
green-
Jund Elves, it's possible.
I don't remember what that thing's called.
I don't know what you're going to search to try to find it.
I'm going to Google. Elf Lord MTG MYG.
He tried.
Word is weird.
He tried.
All right, Google Images, save me. Do you see anything with
No, it's none of these.
new?
I like how the third image is Eladamri.
Yeah, I mean he's sort of an elf lord.
He's only like 20 years old. He gets Elves Shroud and Forest Walk.
It's actually pretty good. Shroud's good.
It's just irrelevant. It's just like Shroud as a keyword is irrelevant for Elves.
What was this? Was this in Dominaria?
Yeah, it's in Dominaria.
And of course, I
Still can't find it.
still can't find it. No, it's not Dominaria. It's in.
Oh no, it's Core 19.
N19.
There. Elvish Clan Color.
Elvish Clan Color. Yeah, let me see if I can get that on stream. Okay, a second.
Just search it on that one. We have a method. We have a system.
Yeah, we all right, we figured it out. All right, how do I do this? Do I display capture, right?
Yep.
Which one? This one?
Yep. Right.
This card. All right, do you think he plays this card?
This
This is how we cover time when they're shuffling up, by the way.
So there's a possibility that he plays this card. Elvish Clan Color is another lord, and one of the issues for elves as like the plan B problem was that your plan B was garbage. Your plan B were mediocre elf beats,
Yeah.
and mediocre is the best you can describe them. Your plan A is activate Azuri once and your opponent dies, but the plan B was mediocre elf beats. This does make your mediocre elf beats into more respectable elf beats. The issue is it still takes up a lot of slots, and generating 6 mana is not free in this deck.
Yeah. I don't know how much you're actually activating this thing.
And it does still have to live. And the bigger kicker for me in this particular card is that it does start as a base 1/1, which means that it dies to a lot of the really cheap sweepers, and so you get a third lord out.
Yeah, like one of the issues is a lot of decks will bring in like stuff that does 1 damage against elves because it kills all the mana dorks and everything that isn't a lord basically. And so this also takes splash damage from that.
Yeah, and then when this dies, state-based actions, everything dies, and life is terrible for the elves player.
Potentially, yeah.
That said, if you do have to go on the mediocre elf beats plan, this card is totally reasonable. I'm just not sure if the current version of elves actually needs lords 9 through 12 necessarily.
Yeah.
When you're already playing Shaman the Pack in addition to Archerd. And kind of Azuri. I wouldn't actually explicitly count Azuri as a lord, but he's kind of a lord.
He's kind of a lord.
Like he combos with lots of mana to kill your opponent.
Yeah.
But generally, Azuri does not kill your opponent on its own. You need to have like an Archdruid or a Heritage Druid or just like 80 lands.
Yeah, you don't just jam that guy in turn 3 and hope it's good.
Like 80 lands in a deck playing like 15.
So I'll get off your phone. Can you hear me?
No, he can. That would be cheating.
That probably would be cheating. Yeah. All right, cool. Listen, see, it's like telepathic link.
So sleeping up, Sal's gonna be back on the play. We kind of saw what happens when you just draw a discard heavy hand against elves. They draw out of it, and Sal did not really draw enough spot removal to keep Johnny off of it in general.
Yeah.
Elves does not have the most powerful of top decks, so Johnny did get pretty lucky to just kind of rip 2 Archers back to back.
That's just called being a good elf.
When they very easily could have just been like a Heritage Druid.
Could have been Llanowar Elves.
Or like Llanowar Elves or Elvish Mystic or whatever other pretty terrible 1-drops in the deck that just kind of don't do anything unless you have your synergies going.
Yeah. Is he still on? Do you think he's still on Quarter Calling or?
Nah, this definitely cannot play Quarter Calling.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. Probably no. What's the Gather the Pack?
Unlikely in the main deck, possibly in the sideboard.
Okay, Sally's off with an Inquisition.
Company, Elvish Archer, or Elvish Visionary, Nettle Sentinel, Bloodbraid Elf, and we can also see a Bobble come down.
Wait, is that a Visionary or is that?
Oh no, that's a Mystic.
Yeah, it's a Mystic.
That's a Mystic.
Yeah, otherwise he would have taken the Sentinel.
Yeah. Sentinel, only really good when you have Visionary, otherwise it does mediocre elf beats. I'm not sure why he's just playing up and also.
I think.
He's just gonna get. No, that's a. Oh no, sorry, it's because Bobble saw that card.
Oh,
so he's like,
sure.
Fuck it. What's the 2-drop? We got no 2-drop, so and you definitely don't got mediocre elf beats here. That Goyf is a 3/4.
Yeah, definitely. This is kind of what Sal needed last game, was just something to like stonewall the mediocre elf beats, because I mean, like the spirits were fine and he has them again, but now these spirits can like be attackers
and mediocre elf beats,
or I guess the
cutting him down to 17
attacker.
Ooh, fetch land down to 16. 3 mana. We're unlikely to see the Shaman Pack come down here just for 2 mana drain or 3 mana drain 2. Drain life is not very impressive, even when it's a staple to a 3/2.
He's doing it.
It's not even drain life. It's just
it's just deal 2, right? Yeah.
It's a steal 2. It's not even drain life.
Yeah,
it's a 16 all.
I mean, I kind of like this because he knows like he's gonna kind of outvalue him, so he just needs to get stuff on the board right now.
It comes down to whether or not Johnny's actually drawn a land in the last couple of draw steps.
I mean, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, we don't know what those other cards are.
So this will look like going up because you're either nailing one of the 4-drop payoffs or Johnny's hand is dead because he can't discard a land
unless he has 2 lands.
I guess in addition to land, Heritage Druid also plays here just to get it down, so he's going to discard one of the Bloodbraid Elves.
Discards black. That's pretty good for Sal. I think he's pretty happy
Goyf
to see that out of
beats. Goyf is now a force.
Okay,
4/5.
So Johnny has the Overgrown Tomb, which I guess we did know about actually. We saw it earlier.
All right, so
okay,
that looks like it was off the top, right?
Yeah, that was off the top. I mean, hindsight should have pitched the other thing, but whatever.
Everything at Lily. So I get the reason behind this attack. If Johnny flips a Lord, he gets to kill it anyways, but he doesn't company in combat.
That seems questionable to me.
Yeah,
because as long as he hits, even
if you miss, like what happened, like
yeah, I think you still want to do that, right? I guess. Okay, now he does it.
See a Visionary and a Heritage Druid that untaps. Yeah. I think I saw an Azuri or an Archer.
I think he drew 2 Cocos with that. Oh, that's the Steel Leaf champion.
Steel Leaf champion, not that good in this spot.
Dude, he's a 5/4.
Yeah, but right now it just trades against Goyf.
That's fine.
And it doesn't trade against Goyf. It gets stonewalled by Goyf here. We just added instant. That's why the company added instant to the yard.
Sure.
We're going to see a flashback on the Lingering Souls. So Sal looking to threaten life totals pretty hard in the air here.
Yeah, that's what he needs to get the elf player dead, right?
Yeah. Or he needs to keep the board clear, and the board is most certainly not clear here.
Yeah, it's obviously
I don't like this attack because I don't think Johnny blocks this turn. I'm also surprised that Johnny didn't pick up the Heritage Druid in this spot.
Yeah. What was it in the
Yeah, there was definitely a Heritage Druid in the pile.
Yeah, I mean,
so you can double block, but you're giving up both your creatures to kill the Goyf. And that basically means your company traded with a Goyf. That does not sound like particularly strong value here. I think if you're going to block, you just jump with the Visionary, and then you can kill the Liliana with your Steel Leaf champion.
Well, if he wants to make this kind of like, I don't think he's gonna be able to kill out with the Steel Leaf because wait, does Steel Leaf have trample?
No, Steel Leaf can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less.
Oh, that's right. Okay, no, never mind.
So the tokens can't actually block the Steel Leaf champion here. So Liliana is dead if Johnny wants to kill it.
Yeah, okay, then I actually really don't like that attack from Sal. Then I guess he hit for 6. That's good. Like
sure, but like he's not playing Bolt, right? So it's not like Johnny will die next turn. It's not going to happen.
No, but I mean,
Sean the Pack drains for 4.
Okay, goes 12.
Not again like the most impressive card in the spot. I think the Steel Leaf champion should have gone in there.
I think that needed to get in there because now you have to deal with this Liliana forever and
flashback Lingering Souls. Well, now you have to win literally next turn. If you like, the Goyf doesn't even attack this turn. You just get in for 4 in the air.
Yeah,
and I believe Sal has Delirium. But he might only have 3 types because I don't think he has instant.
Can't tell. He doesn't have instant.
And I like sacking. I like making Johnny sack here.
Yeah, should. Oh yeah, he definitely. Sack.
I don't like attacking with the Goyf.
Yeah, because that's getting blocked no matter what.
Well, it depends. Like if you want to just turn into a creature that has to it has to get blocked here, right? The double block means that the Steel Leaf champion is dead. So like Johnny's getting kind of punished here, right? Because like if he attacked last turn with the Steel Leaf champion into Liliana Veil, the Elvish Visionary would have been able to chump block here instead of having to give up his Steel Leaf champion for the Goyf.
Exactly.
But Johnny's looking real dead.
Oh, he has a Blood Moon in his hand? What?
No, that Blood Moon does literally nothing.
Yeah, scoop it up.
Also, considering he cannot cast the Blood Moon because he has no red mana.
But if he did cast the Blood Moon, he'd have a lot of red mana.
And it would have done nothing because Sal had 3 basics in play.
All right, so what do you? Well, that's post-war. Never mind. What do you think of running Blood Moon in at least 3, possibly 4 Cavern Souls deck?
So in Elves, you're bringing Blood Moon in matchups where Blood Moon's going to win you the matchup, right? So like you're mostly looking at Scapeshift.
Yeah,
is probably the big one. The problem with bringing in Blood Moon against Abzan is that unless you can ramp it out on turn 2 because you had a turn 1 mana dork, you're not getting anywhere with it. Because by then, if they know what's going on, they'll be fetching base. They probably would have fetched 1 or 2 basics in this particular version of the matchup with Elves. Because the Jund Elves does win by attacking and draining, your life total is more relevant. As you're not likely to just get randomly killed by Azuri overrun.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, like when the Azuri overrun happens, it's usually fairly telegraphed. So it's not like it's just going to happen out of nowhere. You'll know when you're dead.
Yeah.
So the issue is, as a result, you're going to see the Abzan deck, in this case, just fetch more basics. And cards like Abrupt Decay aren't coming out. And they can still hit your Blood Moons.
Yeah.
And the other issue is Blood Moon doesn't kill your opponent. And Blood Moon also chokes you very hard on your own green mana.
Yeah, Steel Leaf Champion has 3 green symbols in it.
Yeah, it's 3 green pip. You thought Merfolk was like blue pip dot deck? Well, Elves is green pip dot deck.
This is mono green stoppy, but sort of playable, and also not mono green.
No, but like there's a lot of green pips, and what it does importantly do is if you play a Blood Moon, you cannot cash out in the pack. There's no basic swamp likely in Johnny's list, so it cuts you off of one of your best ways to win the game. in the sense that when you're trying to punch through Lingering Souls and you don't have an Azuri, Shaman of the Pack is a non-combat source of reach.
Yeah, that... I don't know. I mean, I kind of understand why it's in the list at all, but I feel like... Would you agree that Blood Moon is a card that is, I think, over sideboarded in general? I think people overvalue it.
I agree. I also think, like, it kind of falls into the surgical kind of thing where it's like people think it's just going to, like, hit an important card every single time. It's like, it usually doesn't.
Yeah.
And, like, in the same vein, like, they're hoping that Blood Moon always screws their opponent's mana.
Yeah, it's really telling that I've been surgical extraction more playing, like, Cavern of Souls, Aether Vial aggro decks, and not playing Dredge. That shouldn't be like that, but it is.
Surgical is not particularly good against slivers.
No, it's not, but it's not stopped a certain person who is currently on camera from doing it to me. So, not to name any names or anything.
Rip Johnny.
No.
It was Sal?
Yeah, Sal.
Sal, you're stupid.
Surgical Sedge Sliver, which I guess is the sliver you would surgical in that
Sure.
matchup, but still.
Sick. You surgical the card that your opponent may never have drawn ever again.
Mm-hmm.
In a matchup where the only way they can get card advantage is through Collected Company. Yeah, not great. Not great.
Yeah, it's all right.
But that's gonna be going into game was like this time Johnny gets to be on the play, so he has the opportunity to slam that turn 1 mana elf that Sal has been denying him in the last couple of matches.
Yeah, that means Sal is on Lightning Bolt or
there's no Lightning Bolts, so it has to be Fatal Push because Path Exile clearly does nothing.
Well, Path of Exile removes 1/1 of toughness from your opponent's board.
Yeah, and 1 mana for a turn.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, but yeah, anyway, yeah. So it's a lot lower range of things that can deny Johnny the turn 1 ramp. That looks like a lot of spells in his hand.
I see a path.
So.
I see a path in Sal's hand.
I think a Bauble. That looks like a forest. A Maelstrom Pulse. All right, can we settle this? What is the objectively correct number of Maelstrom Pulses that you're supposed to run in your 60 or 75 or whatever if you're playing
2
Abzan or Jund or whatever?
Like 2 max.
Just well, obviously max. I don't think anyone's playing 3 of those things.
Like I think it's 1 main and maybe a second on the side if you're really interested in that kind of catch-all effect.
Mm-hmm.
For Abzan, it's a little bit less relevant because Path Exile will catch all the big creatures. But in Jund, I think you're kind of forced into 2 because if your opponent plays like a Reality Smasher on you, like you're just kind of staring at it.
How many turn does Jund play? Like 1
or 2.
1 to somewhere between 0 and 3, I guess.
Yeah, the issue with like the Jund removal suite is that it's gotten pretty clunky between Abrupt Decays and Terminates taking up a lot of your 2 mana slots for removal. You just don't have as much 1 mana removal spells, especially against like the bigger creatures.
I mean, they got Fatal Push.
Yeah, but Fatal Push doesn't kill a Reality Smasher.
Yeah, but who's playing Reality Smasher anymore?
Okay, Fatal Push doesn't kill a Primeval Titan.
Okay, outside of you, who's playing Primeval Titan?
Escape Shift.
Okay, outside of Primeval Titan hitting the board and you just packing your shit up, like, what are you doing?
Well, welcome to the joys of playing like against like a deck that just needs to play 6 lands and then top deck to kill you. Oh, no turn 1 mana elf.
Wow.
Bad sign. And discard.
And you get to discard a thing anyway. All right.
Company, Dwind's Elite, Elvish Visionary, and Shaman of the Pack. I like taking the Visionary here.
Yeah, that's an easy 2 for 1. I could get... Well, no, Shaman of the Pack needs another elf on the board, right?
Dwind's Elite needs another elf.
Dwin Elf, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm definitely taking the Visionary over...
Yeah, I would absolutely take the Visionary here.
Over the Dwind's Elite or the Shaman of the Pack. Shaman of the Pack is still a mana away.
Yeah, Shaman of the Pack's... Yeah, okay, I like this. Shaman of the Pack's... I could get behind playing the long game, but...
Do you play the 2/2 anyways? No.
Nope, doesn't. All right, that's a rough start for Johnny. He really needed
there's a Liliana Last Hope in Sal's hand, I think.
That would normally be good, but in this situation, Johnny just whiffed all of his 1 toughness creatures, so it might not actually matter.
It's also one of the cards that's a little bit better on the play than the draw, because then you can start pinging off a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I do like this matchup, though.
Unfortunately, just getting the basic forest.
Yeah. I think a lot of people bring in stuff that like does 1 damage against like tribal matchups, and most of the time they're pretty anemic because if they have a Lord, it's rough. But Elves just has so many 1 toughness guys that I'm still like totally on board with it.
Yeah, I'm in the same place. Elves is a little bit heavier on just having 1-mana dudes. That's a Nykthos.
Yeah.
Oh, now we play the Dwyn's Elite. Okay.
Okay. I mean, he was playing around. Okay, not that. All right, that gets replicated. That was maybe the least value Replicate I've ever seen.
Yeah, but if it clears the way for this Liliana Last Hope, you're probably feeling okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like a Blood Moon would theoretically be bad here for Sal, and he fetched Shock for that. But if you Blood Moon next turn, I don't think Sal's gonna be upset about that. Like, he's just gonna keep upticking his Liliana and killing you.
Yeah, as long as he gets on the board, unless he does something else. But like, when else are you gonna play it, right? Oh, the other Liliana.
Yeah, why not?
Well, that's even better. That's way better.
Yeah, this is gonna even kill the first elf that Johnny plays. Discard Shadow
Shadow Pact goes away. So I'm guessing that card's a land in Johnny's hand.
And we discarded Lingering Souls from Sal. Was not a land. Oh, no, it's not a land. Otherwise, he would have slammed it.
Oof. Well, then I don't know. Maybe it was Azuri. I don't know. So Nykthos doesn't just Nykthos tap for just colorless?
Nykthos taps for a colorless. They don't print lands that don't tap for mana anymore. Unfortunately.
I mean, they missed so many times. Like, I can't really blame them. Okay.
Tarmogoyf discarded. Liliana Last Hope is the follow up.
That was pitch Coco. Oh, he has another Coco in hand. Okay.
And a land and pass. Is that a land? That's not a land.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Sinazur, Elvish Archdruid. Yeah, you're just gonna sack that one.
Yeah, that's probably going away in some way, shape, or form.
Unless Sal drew a removal spell, in which case you're not gonna sack that one. Can't be Path though. Path doesn't do anything here. Fatal Push also doesn't do anything here. Actually, I'm wrong. You can Fatal Push this Archdruid.
Yeah, you have to.
You flashback Lingering Souls and then kill your own soul. He missed it. He didn't see the line. He would have been able to kill the Archdruid. Now I get to go yell at Sal later for being bad.
That seemed dumb. I don't know.
Because you could flashback Lingering Souls plus on your own soul and then Fatal Push.
Well, did he have the push though?
Yeah, he discarded the push.
Oh, okay, never mind. I didn't see it. Oh yeah. Well, I don't know how much it matters. I'm just more surprised that Lily didn't just kill that thing, honestly.
Well, I'm definitely minusing Lily here. I don't think the ult matters. That doesn't kill it. Tap those 2 lands.
Yeah.
I don't know why he did that in response to the Liliana.
Maybe that looks like a whiff. No. Okay.
Looks like a Mystic plus another Archdruid.
No, that's not the Mystic. Remember, that's the other. Oh no, wait.
No, that one's Mystic.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm thinking Visionary. Yeah,
that does not die. Yeah, okay. I think Sal might be punting this game.
I think everybody's punting this game.
Oh, he's just ulting the Lily.
Yeah. Okay, I will pick the Archdruid and your
it's a Dwyn's Elite, not an Archdruid.
Yeah.
So it's I think it's Archdruid 1 land, 2 lands, the rest of the elves.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah, Nykthos can go with the other ones.
Yeah, just you can keep that.
I'd probably give him.
I'm taking that right pile all day, or the bottom pile, I guess.
But he should have put 1 more land on the top pile.
He should have. Yeah, he should. Yeah, that seemed like a bad split. I think that gave Johnny like a really obvious pile to pick, and now Johnny can make enough mana to do whatever. Like every draw in his deck is live, including Blood Moon. Not including Blood Moon. He can't make colorless.
Well, this is an attack for 8.
Yeah,
that's
might not matter.
Oh,
that's a treetop village. Might not matter because Johnny might just be dead to getting his face kicked in.
Shadow the Pact, drain for 3, sound down to 12.
All right, that is an elf.
Down to 11. Again, I feel like this game could have been a lot easier for Sal. He could have put himself in a spot where he doesn't have to sweat a couple of draw steps in this case. Like, let's say like Johnny just top decked another company. Sal could be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and I mean, even if he didn't even see the line that you were suggesting, I think even if you just like Liliana sack your Archdruid would have been like put Johnny way far behind.
Yeah,
like this is the same Archdruid. This thing could be dead like 3 turns ago.
I like my line. It's way cuter and does it does the same thing, except now you have like a higher plus Lilianas on both sides, so it lets you still threaten the ultimate on the next turn if you want to. Yep. And then your last hook gets to be at at 5 right now.
Oh, well, we're getting that Grimflayer again. Oh, there was a Kalitas. Holy
Okay.
crap. All right, well, that's a beating.
Well, is there a removal spell, though? Because there's no removal spell. This Kalitas is still just a beater. Get in for 5. I don't think you can afford to block this turn.
Nah, Johnny just has to take it and hope he peels out. He needs Bloodbraid Elf or Coco or something like that.
Apparently his life is 4, so I'm not sure why I missed 2 points of damage, but okay.
I don't know. I think he drew a land. Yep. And
he
that's
drew a
game.
land. So, I mean, we kind of saw what Abzan usually does in the matchup in the games 2 and 3. It's just kind of like 1-for-1 trades.
Yeah,
and
I thought that the game 2 was like a really archetypical, like, that's an Obstinate Baloth? That's, because
Obstinate Baloth I don't mind.
Okay,
the Abrupt Decays I probably wouldn't have bothered with.
Yeah. But yeah, that's like...
Thoughtseizes I definitely would not have bothered with.
You don't want to try to play the 1-for-1 game. You want to play the 2-for-1 game. That's rough, because I wonder what he cut then.
Like,
probably.
Baloth still feel like so low impact still though. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I can get behind it.
Is that a company that he booted to a sideboard? That's wrong.
That is no, Johnny.
Johnny cut 2-for-1s for 1-for-1s.
Oh, and there goes some. I guess he kind of just trimmed a little off everything. Yeah.
Okay, the Rex Sage is an easy cut.
Yeah. Oh, main deck. Wow. Okay, but yeah.
Yeah, usually a 1 of in the main deck, even non-core variants.
I didn't realize we were playing Legacy.
Even when you're not playing Cord and Green Sun Zenith, there was not a single siege run to cast that game, Salvador.
Yeah, he needs to step it up. None of this Grimflayer nonsense.
So that's gonna be it for this round, unless our backup feature is ready. I believe they probably finished well before this because it was Storm versus something, and either the Storm player is still going off, or
I fucking hope not,
or the Storm player has won this game already. So we're gonna go check in real quick with that, and we'll get back to you with a next match, either immediately or with the beginning of round 2. Pretty good play from Sal. This game, I think Johnny horribly misdetermined what his role in the matchup is, and ended up trying to slow the game down in a way that isn't going to favor him.
Yeah.
I don't like bringing in Thoughtseize against Abzan decks. It's just a bad top deck. I don't mind trimming the 1-mana elves, Visionaries, or not Visionaries, Mystics and Llanowar Elves you can trim on, because you're likely to get the turns that you need to be able to play your cards.
Yeah, that's fine.
But turn 1 Thoughtseize doesn't feel very effective against the deck that's going to like strike back with another Thoughtseize. Unless you're trying to Thoughtseize their Thoughtseize, in which case that's some hilarious tempo loss.
That's sketch. Yeah, I feel like you want Thoughtseize in matches where there's just some card that, like, if they play it, you lose, and so you need to stop them from ever playing it. And Abzan just doesn't have like a card that just like makes you scoop up all your elves. Like, there's no single card that just annihilates you.
Well, I mean, like Damnation's pretty bad.
Yeah, okay, like Damnation sucks, but like you just gotta kind of roll with it. If that, and they're not like, that's not their game plan. You know, they're not mulliganing for
Damnation.
They're not like some combo deck that needs this one thing to go off to kill you. They can just win by doing what Sal did for 2 games.
Yeah, and like, especially if you don't cut your companies, like even post Damnation, you can. Johnny was on Jund Elves. Even post Damnation, you can just like company, like float your mana, let the Damnation resolve, and cast a company. And cutting companies puts you in a really awkward spot like that. Yes, your ground game is going to be a little bit less good against Abzan than Jund because of
Jund Elves, like with Bloodbraid Elf and Shaman of the Pact and no combo kill, like just phase beat elves. Yeah,
you're not going to see any Devoted Druids. You're not going to see any Vizier of Remedies. You are going to see 4 copies of Devoted, or 4 copies of Bloodbraid Elf, as well as 4 copies. I have no idea what's going on.
Okay. Dude, chat interaction's hard. We don't know yet. Hold on. Actually,
we're about to go find out. I guess Wyatt will just walk out and figure out what's going on.
Go duck out for a second.
But odds are, I think that's going to be it for round 1. But we'll see if there's still someone playing on our backup feature. Our backup feature was Casey versus Anthony. Casey probably playing one of many different decks that usually turns cards sideways. Oh, is he asking for the actual deck list? Yeah, you'll have to wait for the deck list if you actually want to see the deck list. It's gonna be a bit before then, but otherwise, like it's probably a lot of like the standard 4s that you'd expect. Like there's probably 4 Visionaries, there's probably 4 Dwindle Elites, there's probably 4 Heritage Druids, Mystics. There are definitely 4 copies of Bloodbraid Elf and maybe 2 copies of Company. Yeah, that's kind of been my thought too for Bloodbraid Elf in Elves. Your hits are just not that impactful. You're getting anywhere from like hitting a Llanowar Elves to hitting a Shadow in the Pack, and while Shadow in the Pack can be good, if Bloodbraid Elf is the only creature that you have on the battlefield because it's like a post-rebuild situation, it just drains for 1 because it hits the battlefield before the Bloodbraid Elf does, making it not a very good hit either.
All right, so that's gonna be our last match for this round. There's no matches that we can pick up and move to the feature match area. Our backup actually finished like about the same time.
Oh,
so
yeah. So that's gonna be it for this round. We'll be right back with round 2 as soon as that gets started. Before we leave, I guess, because this is the first time Wyatt's been on stream.
Oh yeah, we totally didn't do introductions, by the way.
Yeah, so this is Wyatt, and I'm William.
Wyatt, and you probably know Will. Maybe he's spending all his time sitting over, barely visible on camera.
Yeah, we're hiding off screen. So this is Wyatt. He mostly plays bad company decks, or not bad company decks, bad Aether Vial decks. Yes, because he plays literally every single one besides the one that plays humans.
That's not true. I do not play the Spirits one.
That's true. He also doesn't play Death and Taxes. So he's literally chosen the 2 worst Aether Vial decks to play.
That's maybe true.
Merfolk can't even be the best blue Aether Vial aggro deck.
Are you talking about like Blue Steel?
No, I'm talking about Spirits.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. I actually think like blue white or Esper Spirits is like just basically just better than Merfolk.
Even like Bant, I don't know. I haven't decided which version of the Spirits is probably the strongest. I'm not sure if it's like an Aether Vial deck or a company deck yet.
It depends what you're playing against. I mean, if you're expecting to play against Jeskai Control Ever, you want the companies.
I think your deck is like inherently pretty good against that deck though. You have a lot of like shenanigans to blink the removal between Rattle Chains and Daruk Skull Captain.
Yeah, Rattle Chains is the shit.
And even on top of that, you can also blink a lot of the removal spells with just like a really beefy Mausoleum Wanderer, which is another one of those cards that's just like, look at Curse Catcher and then it cries because your Mausoleum Wanderer has flying and
also is like a 4/4 or something.
Gets buff,
yeah,
and then pierces for its power as opposed to just 4 spiking always.
Yeah,
and it gets bigger whenever you play another spirit. Like this, it's just an embarrassment. Merfolk is just a colossal embarrassment.
Can you stop driving this in free? Look,
your lord's a 1/3, so like if you have 2 lords, it doesn't add a bolt.
Yeah, I really like that thing being a 1/3 actually.
And admittedly, Spirits is less aggressive because you have fewer aggressively statted creatures in your deck. But your lords are actually just so much better.
Yeah, but you only have like two to 3. I mean, depending on what if you count
Phantasmal
Image, which you still run it because you just want to hit that double Dark Soul Captain off of Coco. That's just what you're looking for.
But that doesn't actually work because it has enters a copy of a creature already in play.
Does it?
Yeah.
They don't enter at the same time.
They enter at the same time. That's why they can't. That's why I can't copy it.
Awkward. Well, ignore me. That's why I don't play this deck.
Yeah. Apparently, company's too complicated.
All I know is that if I vial into 2 harmonic slivers, I get to kill 4 artifacts. That's all I know. That's all I know, Will.
Yeah, and it's not you get to. You have to.
Yeah, I have to.
If there are 4 artifacts, you must destroy artifacts.
I have to kill 4 of my own Aether Vials. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not you get to. It's you must.
Okay, I'm gonna go check around for the stuff going
on. So we're gonna take a quick break and we'll be back probably within 5 or 10 minutes. I believe the round timer was nearing the end. Yeah, so it was nearing the end anyway, so we'll be back shortly. I guess I can, if you have any questions before I leave, type them in now. I'll give you about another minute before I take a quick break. Got this nice Dr. Pepper here for me.
All right, now it's on. All right, so that actually took like a second. So.
Yeah, that took less time than I thought it would. So on stream we have Andrew versus James.
Yep.
James is on humans. I know James is on humans.
Yeah, James on humans. I don't know what Andrew's on, but we're about to find out. And then backup is Ami versus Dom. And Ami's on something stupid, and Dom's probably on mono black.
Humans. The last time Andrew was playing, he was playing Jund because he sold his affinity deck recently. So he does not have that right now.
Okay, well, I didn't even realize. If I knew that, then I probably would have picked something. Well, Jund and Abzan are sort of different enough.
But humans for sure on the left. James is the person currently borrowing Sal's deck. James trying to get some practice in so he can try to spike an RPTQ before the end of the season.
Yeah, he's trying to upgrade from allied humans to human humans, I think.
To better humans.
Whoa. Yeah, you're right.
to humans that win the game.
Looks like you won the die roll, though, so that's good.
Yep, so humans, your archetypical aggro tribal strategy, although it does play noticeably fewer lords than your typical
it's
aggro
not
deck.
Archetypical. It's
pretty archetypical. You've played a bunch of cards with humans in the name, and then just good cards that have the text on them.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not archetypical because you play cards that are good on their own, and tribal decks are not allowed to play cards that are just good on their own.
Illustrationary is good on its own.
That's okay. That's like one. Yeah, that's about it. Every other card and Steel Leaf Champion's good on its own. That's fine.
Bloodbraid Elf is fine.
But yeah, Bloodbraid Elf is. Yeah, it is fine. It actually probably doesn't belong in an Elf deck, but
Nah, unlikely.
But I totally didn't say that on stream. Don't worry about it.
But it is closer to your archetypical, like more aggro-y strategy. It's playing a lower curve. It's playing only 19-ish lands, and it's Storm.
Oh, look at that. Oh.
So this is the nightmare matchup
for Storm. Yeah. So it turns out that humans is instantly very good against this deck for basically no reason.
Yeah. So most decks lose the Storm game 1 because they just don't have cards that can interact with the stack very effectively, and humans conveniently and randomly happens to be playing 12 main deck cards that interact with Storm very well, and 4 ways to copy them.
Yes. James's deck has the winning combination of like cards that say Storm can't win, and also a clock that kills them in like
second land,
3-4 turns.
Hand's a keeper. Looks like a bugler in hand as well. I think you have to keep the land on top.
How do you feel about 4 main deck buglers?
I think 4 is a little bit excessive.
Yeah,
I'd probably play with 3.
I also feel like it's excessive.
Human.
All right, no wonder. Okay, well, Freeberry, no, he's gonna know what's up now.
All right, so we see
Electromancer. He can't take gifts. 2
rituals, a pyretic or desperate ritual, I believe, and
a Manamorphose and a whatever the green one
Noxious
is. Noxious Revival. Yeah.
So in this particular case, you're definitely just taking the gifts. Andrew cannot win the game until the gifts resolves. In most situations, not always. But Noxious Rival is way too low impact, and the Manamorphose is good, but I'm not sure if you want to take that over the Gifts Ungiven.
I could get behind the Manamorphose, but I think Gifts is just absolutely the pick here.
The issue is because Andrew knows what matchup he's up against, he's likely just to slam the Electromancer next turn, and just hope James doesn't have a Reflector Mage.
By the way, is that a snow-covered island, or is that the island that looks like the snow-covered island?
I believe it's an island. It's actually a snow-covered island. It has to be.
Okay, because of the gifts, right?
Because it actually matters because of gifts.
What a winner!
So I like jamming the land here, and I'm not sure if you go for speed. I think putting the 4-turn or 5-turn clock. It's not even a 5-turn clock. It's like a 3-turn clock. Is going to be good enough here.
So he's going to play Mantis Rider, get in for some dips.
Snow-covered island, and James could be dead this turn.
Yeah, or Andrew could be completely hosted. Really
is it a second mana dude? It is a second mana dude.
Okay, well now your stuff's really cheap, but the question is it going to do anything?
He needs to try to find a copy of Gifts as soon as possible. That's another
bugler.
Hand is clunky.
Well, all right, you committed this play last turn, so I guess we're just going full beats. We're not trying to find something to slow this guy down. And now even something like a Thalia is really not very relevant at all.
Lieutenant is lethal at this point, but that's about the only thing that's lethal. But we're going to see Andrew attempt to go off.
I'm guessing Andrew's just trying to find something with those Manamorphose.
We're playing out the Storm, so he might.
Oh God!
No.
Oh no!
It's Weiss cards.
Well, we picked a good feature match.
This is your fault.
This is my fault. I take full responsibility.
God damn it. Oh no.
This is like eons worse than Pokemon cards, right? Like,
all right, so we're gonna see Desperate Ritual, Splice Desperate Ritual. So there's currently 6 floating.
Oh, that's a Desperate. God, that art's terrible.
Yeah, it's the dual deck art.
Okay. So we're generating a lot of red mana, and we're seeing if we can find absolutely anything.
Desperate's in the yard. Storm is 2. 6 mana and 2 blue floating. Looks like Andrew just tapped all of his lands.
Yeah, it's tapped.
Gifts Ungivens definitely wins the game here.
Oh.
That plays.
Okay. So Grape Shot to pick up my gifts, and then we get to go off from there.
Yeah. So we're not going to even bother counting James' life because he is dead. So this is what
possibly
100% dead.
You give our players too much credit.
100% dead. 2 mana Gifts Ungiven.
I think that's decent, right?
2 mana Draw 2 seems pretty good. 2 mana Tutor.
Draw 4.
2 mana Tutor 4 seems a lot better.
Yeah.
Something about Hearthstone and Psych Melon.
We're not going to get into Hearthstone in this stream. Unless we're really just have nothing to talk about. Because this is not a Hearthstone stream.
All right, so this is going to be the standard ritual pile.
But this is a way short stream now.
You're going to see the ritual right Pass and Flames. What James is going to give Andrew is basically always going to be the Pass and Flames with the Manamorphose. It's the least mana in hand. Yes, but Shudderwalk. Also, I'm surprised you didn't play standard when Shaman had the top tier deck for like the first time in forever.
I actually did, but then I stopped because they changed it, and I played the wild version, and it was kind of garbage.
Anyways, you're going to get the Manamorphose plus the Pass and Flames. Although at this point, mana is not the bottleneck, so you could give him a ritual, the Pyretic Ritual plus the Pass and Flames.
Yeah, if I was him, I would just give him both the rituals.
The issue is you're still dead because there is a Gifts Ungiven in the yard that will kill you.
Yes. Okay. So ignoring the fact that you're dead basically no matter what decision you make here, and James is just kind of okay. This is the decision that I would make because the mana doesn't matter. So you just want to make it so that the cards he can use twice, just give him mana.
So ritual, more mana. Probably another ritual. Spliced.
Yeah. Yes.
Spliced. Infinite mana.
Yep. Yeah, so
you pay 2 red to generate 6 mana.
Yeah, so Andrew has like 8 billion red mana and no blue mana, right?
Yeah, he currently has no blue mana floating.
Okay, so that would be a problem if
there weren't 2 Manamorphoses in the yard.
Yeah.
Pass and Flames flashback. So Andrew's gonna leave a Desperate Ritual in his hand so that he can continue spicing it on the flashback copies of Desperate Ritual.
Dang, James almost helped us out with that big die, and then probably Andrew told him that don't worry about it because I'm just going to kill you.
Manamorphose.
All right.
Draw a card. Andrew still has a land drop as well.
Wow. Yeah, you're right. Man, I hate this deck.
That was a Gifts Ungiven off the top.
Ooh, if he couldn't figure out a way to win before, I think he's got this locked up. Okay, make some blue mana.
Draw a card.
Serum Visions.
It wasn't a Manamorphose, or looks like it was just a Serum Visions.
That's sort of like a Manamorphose.
Or not a Manamorphose, a Gifts.
Oh, Gifts.
But there's still the Gifts in the yard, and it's not like Andrew's in trouble for mana right now.
Serum Visions is loosely like a Gifts Ungiven, right? It's blue and
looks at 3 cards
to your hand. Yeah.
Desperate Ritual. So much for splicing the Desperate Ritual in your hand.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Pyretic Ritual. Mana, mana, mana.
Yeah, this deck makes a lot of it.
Desperate Ritual. Grape Shot still in the yard. Gifts Ungiven. Probably getting Grape Shot. And another Pass and Flames.
I mean, he has the other one in the yard, right?
Yeah. Just Grape Shot, another Pass and Flames is all you need to get, and that's still lethal.
Classic.
Yeah, he's not even getting 4 cards. Bin them both. Flashback, Pass and Flames, double Grape Shot you.
With my 3,000 red mana.
I mean, you don't know. Every card in my deck could be grape shots and passive flames, even though there's like 40 cards in my deck. But that's definitely lethal. Unfortunately, James' hand was a little bit clunky. Like, this matchup is very, very good for humans. But James was on the Mantis Rider hand with a single piece of interaction.
Yeah, I think if James knew what he was going to play against, and I don't know if he necessarily did, then he probably would have mulled that hand.
He was already on a multi-6, which is part of the concern. And he did scry a land to the top, and unfortunately his second draw was also a land, and then his third draw was another Bugler.
Yeah.
If he was more concerned about the amount of time he had, he could have played the Bugler down on turn 3 over the Mantis Rider. But I think once you've played the first Mantis Rider, you are committed.
What is that?
It is a sideboard guide. I can feel it. The answer is...
never mind. I thought we were Weiss stream. There's no note taking or...
There's no sideboarding.
Well, there's also no sideboarding. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, best of one format.
Yeah, it's like playing two-headed giant most of the time.
Two-headed giant's garbage.
Is it better or worse than Weiss Schwartz?
Better?
Yeah, you gotta think about it, right? Yeah. Probably.
Damping Sphere comes in.
Probably worse. Yeah.
Right Champion does not come in.
So Damping Sphere.
No, those shouldn't come in. Force Patrollers don't come in. Staticasters 1 should come in.
Gaddock Teague comes in. Sin Collectors.
Gaddock Teague, Chalice of the Void, and
Chalice of the Void
all come in.
All right. Well, this sideboard is pretty tuned to be good against this matchup. It looks like. Question is James gonna know what to bring in?
Well, he has a sideboard guide. I'm surprised he doesn't bring in the one Staticasters a hedge.
Oh, against
empty, like a fast empty. You just want to like have a little bit of a hedge.
Yeah, I guess so. I think I feel better just bringing the cards in that make my Storm opponent not actually, generate their threats in the first place.
He's bringing both.
So brought him in.
He's bringing both. That seems a bit much.
Seems optimistic, but maybe it'll work.
2 Sin Collectors, a Damping Sphere, etc. On Andrew's side, we're probably gonna see bolts coming in from the sideboard.
Yeah, bolts repeals any kind of
like an Echoing Truth.
Yeah, any kind
bounce
of
spells, anything that can interact with creatures, and that's about it.
And then empties if they're in there, right? Because you want to play around Meddling Mage.
Yeah, you probably see a single copy of Empty the Warrens as well.
Yeah.
Maybe 2, but that seems optimistic.
Yeah, the problem is that Empty the Warrens isn't actually very good against humans. It's not Grape Shot.
Like, if you can empty on turn 2 for like 14 gobos,
that's not bad.
Then maybe that's probably enough. But if you're emptying on turn 4 for like 14 gobos, it's not getting there.
Yeah, there's
the little green men will not get there.
Pretty sure I wonder if the empty ones are red or green.
They're definitely green.
Oh yeah, that's hold on, go to the Time Spiral one. No, what'd you do?
It's the same art, or not the same art, but that's the same color.
I gotta show the right one at least. Yeah, okay, they are green.
The green men, little green men,
1/1 men. Not actually men, because they're goblins. They're not humans.
Male?
I don't know. That's not a discussion we're gonna get into.
I don't know. They're definitely not very kindly gobos.
I mean, how bad can they be? They're 1/1s. That art does not look good.
But that is the plan B for the Storm deck. Usually when you can't go off because your graveyard shut off for whatever reason, the empty backup plan is how you're going to try to win the game.
Yep.
Less effective against heavy creature strategies just because they can block, and you have 1/1s against like 6/6s that block.
Yes. Your empty might be able to get in for more than a Grape Shot would have been able to because it can attack multiple times. You're on diminishing returns, and that still might not be enough depending on how many things they're able to block.
Exactly. In addition to getting blocked, you're vulnerable to a sweeper.
I would say that the humans player has the advantage in this matchup. Obviously, the last game showed that doesn't necessarily mean that they will always win. But generally speaking, humans has enough both main deck and sideboard interaction that make it hard enough for Storm to win that I think that Storm is not favored. And also they can kill them fast.
Yeah, you're generally looking at about 12 pieces of interaction in the main deck and an additional 5 or so post board.
Yeah, which is huge compared to a lot of decks that maybe have like, I don't know, 5 like at all.
And all of those cards beat, which is relevant.
Yeah.
Lieutenant, Thalia, Vial, Kitesail Freebooter. This is a snap.
Yeah, Thalia also good.
You can't really ask for a much better hand. That's 2 Freebooters. You definitely cannot ask for a better hand than this.
This is a lot for Andrew to work through. This is going to be hard.
Yeah, it's going to be a turn 1 Thalia, or turn 1 Vial, I wish. Turn 1 Vial into a turn 2 Thalia. You generally lead on Thalia over Freebooter because...
Whoa. That's
a mistake. There's no way he should have mulliganed that hand.
That was a good hand, dude. You should have kept that one. Well, let's see. Maybe he'll get a better one.
Turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Thalia, turn 3 Freebooter, turn 4 Lieutenant you. How much more can you ask for?
That's real good. That is a lot of individual pieces of interaction that Andrew needs to break that up, and that is just not what his deck has. But we'll see.
And like, you don't even take up your Vial to 3.
Oh no. Yeah, he's gonna make it interesting. Although if he loses, then it's not gonna be interesting. Although we might be able to go to backup.
Yes. Who's on our backup again? It's Dom versus
Ami.
I think Ami might be on Lantern.
Oh god, if he's on Lantern again, I made a mistake. If he's on Lantern, I'm just gonna not put that on the screen.
Land, Staticaster, Land, Lieutenant, Land. This hand is way worse, and he's keeping this hand.
It. All right, well, let's see how it goes. Maybe he'll just peel out.
Especially on the play, like he might be on KCI.
Okay, well that might be interesting.
But especially on the play, like how much more can you ask from your hand, right? Like you had a turn 1 play into a turn 2 play into a turn 3 double play to kill your opponent.
Yeah, I don't know.
And right now you have a turn 2 Lieutenant. That's your play.
I mean, he's gonna get.
No, you have to play it. You cannot sit on this one.
Don't just.
And he's passing.
All right, well, let's see what's Andrew got here. Maybe Andrew's on the slow hand.
Probably dude. No dude.
No dude. Yeah.
Well, Thalia, I guess.
Thalia is that? I don't know.
Guardian of Thraben.
Yeah.
You're definitely playing. I think you play Bugler this turn.
Okay. I mean,
this is getting bolted.
I can kind of.
It's getting unsubstantiated on the stack. I mean, he is new to humans, but just like thinking about it, right? Like,
hold on. What unsubstantiated is just return target spell or creature.
Yeah.
Okay.
Return target spell or creature to its owner's hand.
Okay, I just want to make sure there wasn't any Cavern of Souls nonsense going on there.
So champion was the draw for James. So I think the sequence is going to be Thalia into Lieutenant. And the reason for that particular sequencing is that it lets your Thalia punch through the Baral if you need to.
Yeah, you can't get blocked by it.
And you know that Andrew just missed a land drop as well.
Yeah. Okay.
You can afford to wait on Lieutenant, I guess. You don't have to play it this turn.
Yeah,
this is a little bit more mana efficient to do it in this order.
But you got to play the Thalia.
Yeah, you 100% play the Thalia this turn.
Yeah, your risk of dying is too high. Yeah, James is definitely new to this. I think he's only played it for like a week or so.
And that a break can be cast because of the Brawl.
Yep.
Brawl's a good magic card. Damping Sphere is good, though.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that's another thing. Okay,
so Lieutenant Damping Sphere is the sequencing, because if you play Damping Sphere first, you cannot play the Lieutenant.
Yeah, don't get burned by this, James. Don't do it. Okay. Whew.
Trigger.
Yeah, that goes. Ooh, that's a big boy.
Take 1 down to 19. And in for 4, and definitely not blocking.
All right, so now I mean, this is asking another thing of Andrew before he can really do anything.
And we're going to see a sleight of hand. I see a bolt.
Bolt, not as good as it was before. Did he put it on the bottom? I couldn't tell.
I think he put the bolt on the bottom because I think he's just looking for lands and he hasn't been finding any. It's another land. I like just playing the Bugler.
And just hoping you pull like...
Well, you just don't tap your Horizon Canopies and you just crack one at the end of the turn. Well, you can't cast anything else except for a 1-drop after Bugler because you're Damping Sphere.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, yeah, Yes. All right, what's he got? Well...
Taking the Sin Collector.
Yeah, you want that Sin Collector.
Sin Collector is definitely just better than Kitesail Freebooter in this matchup.
Yep. He's thinking about the Mantis Rider, looks like.
Can't take the Mantis Rider off Bugler.
Yeah, okay, that's right. You can't take it.
Mantis Rider has 3 power. Can't take the Mantis Rider off Bugler. Let's see if James tries anyways.
So we might have to run out there. All right, don't put your thumb over the power toughness box. Don't do that. Okay.
Yep.
Good.
Oh, wait.
Right.
Takes the legal target. We're good.
No, all right. We're staying in the booth. All right, so this means that Andrew's got to have something like now, I think.
Right, I mean, you could turn them both sideways. It doesn't really matter. But this is an attack for 5. Let's put Andrew down to 11.
Yep.
Did he draw a land? Because everything is probably going to start with a land here. We start with a land. 2 mana. And that is a wipe away.
Wipe away. Okay.
And he takes 1 to cast that.
Yep.
And the storm counter comes out. But he's only operating off of 1 land and what's in hand. So we'll see if he gets there.
Does he take 1 to cast that? No.
Wipe away costs blue.
Oh, it's blue? Oh, never mind. Maybe it wasn't wipe away. Oh, no,
it was wipe away.
Okay. All right, here come the anime cards again. That's bad news, by the way, for everyone involved except for Andrew, I guess.
Well, he used to play in anime sleeves.
Yeah, the problem is those don't come in 75 counts, so you gotta really want it.
Manamorphose is gonna draw a card.
Yep.
Manamorphose is gonna draw a card.
And Andrew has to basically win now. If he finds something that's decent, but it doesn't get him there, it's just gonna get taken by Sin Collector next turn.
Yeah, he has to win this turn. And if he has another ritual into gifts, it's gonna be enough. That's not a ritual, and that puts him down to mana, so he's down to 1 blue and 1 red at the moment. Those are 2 Serum Visions.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see.
I see a ritual. Yep, Pyretic Ritual.
Okay.
Up to 3 red mana. 3 and a blue.
So that means I guess you...
Gifts is not good enough here. Is that another... No, this is Serum Visions, it looks like, being cast.
Yeah, he's just trying to peel.
Electromancer and Grape Shot?
Okay, Grape Shot on top, Electromancer on the bottom.
But he has no more blue mana for any more draws, so he needs another Manamorphose if he wants to draw that. Is it another Manamorphose? Oh, I guess it was.
I didn't see it get played.
Yeah, it must have been a Manamorphose.
Yeah, I guess so. He's got.
So what is this Grape Shot for?
He's got some sleight of hand.
7, 8. So Grape Shot does not fully clear this board right now. It's an empty.
Oh, that's interesting.
Empty, I don't know if it's going to be good enough here.
I don't... empty for... Oh my god. Can we tell him to use the actual damn tokens?
So this should be 16 Goblin tokens. Yep, 16 Gobos.
That's a lot of goblins.
So that puts 17 power on the board for Andrew. He does still have some mana floating, and there is the Grape Shot. So this Grape Shot will clear the board now. 5, 2, and 3 is 10. And actually, Storm's only 9, so you can kill some of the things. Yeah, Andrew's a weeb.
What if he's just bluffing? What if this is just to tilt his opponent and us?
However, James has Staticaster in hand.
Oh yeah, Norrin. Okay, easy game. Interestingly, he didn't crack the canopy.
I don't think you cracked the canopy because you're going to be playing Staticaster plus Dampings for this turn.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, okay. In that order.
Hopefully.
I mean, I guess he could wait because that was Flash.
Sure. I don't see a reason to wait against this deck when they're tapped out.
Yeah, that's true.
Staticaster.
Right. Bzz. Bzz. Get all that shit out of there.
Goodbye, Wise Cards. And another 1 down to 15. Just replay the Damping Sphere and make it so you can't really lose. And Andrew did use a significant number of cards in his hand to get here.
Let's see. He might be thinking about the freebooter. which is
I think Freebooter's fine this turn if you want to. Next turn still leaves you open to playing the Sin Collector plus the Sin Collector plus the Damping Sphere if you want to.
yeah. It lets you know what you're up against at least.
So I think either line is totally reasonable here, but you're definitely casting one of these spells that costs you mana.
Yes.
And he goes for the Freebooter
Going for
this
the
time.
freebooter. What you got?
The hand is 2 lands and a Brawl.
All right, a bunch of nonsense.
So-
All right, so Andrew is
Yep. Attack and a
top deck
block.
hero. Yeah, that has vigilance, by the way. Did you know that?
Yes.
Yeah.
For some reason. And a 2/3. It's a 2/3. It looks like a ritual is drawn for Andrew. That's not going to play
Drew a
here.
red card.
Tap Spire Bluff Canal.
Yep.
So you know the Sin Collector is not going to be very good right now. So you probably don't even play it
Yeah,
anymore.
I think you Siege Draw. Oh no, that's Thalia.
So I like playing Thalia plus Damping Sphere
This is
in any order because it doesn't actually matter.
this is a beating. Oh my god.
And then attack for 1 in the air. The issue is James's clock is pretty mediocre right now.
I don't know if it matters. Andrew needs like everything.
Sin Collector hits a Desperate Ritual
I
because
think he ritualed in
it was
response.
cast because
Yeah,
he just
okay.
doesn't want it to be exiled.
That's fair, I guess. Yeah.
Now you definitely attack with the Bugler.
I think you play the sphere here.
Yeah, you play the Sphere over Thalia. It's a little bit more effective. You attack with a
Yeah.
Bugler. This is a free roll. He can't block because you have the Staticaster.
Yeah.
So it's a free roll. 7 puts lethal on the board right now. Or not lethal. 5 more damage on the board. Andrew is playing a density deck, so with the cards in his hand, he probably cannot win the game, considering there are 3 bricks, 2 bricks, 3 bricks, because that was his draw for the turn.
Was it? No, he had 2 lands in hand.
Yeah, but I don't believe it was that one. I
Was
believe
it?
the
Oh
last
my
hand in his
God.
hand is another Sulfur Falls. Not Sulfur Falls.
He has the brawl also.
Yeah, he has a Baral and the Painland, I believe.
Okay. Well,
Thalia and Aether Vial in hand. Just jam the Thalia
Yeah,
and turn the card sideways.
he can. I mean, he can start cracking. He can crack a canopy now and see kind of what's up. But I think this is all she wrote.
I
Okay.
don't see a point in playing this.
That costs 3. Yes. Okay. All right. Cool. Andrew's on top of it.
Yeah, tax and then tax. You can decline the pay cost. You can announce that you're paying it and then not play it.
Really?
Yeah, because the last thing that you do when you're playing a spell is pay cost. Because if you can't pay the cost, then you have to put the spell back in your hand.
Oh, so you can just like show your opponent like.
Well, you can show cards from your hand whenever you want. Anyways,
yeah, I know, but you can be like, I'm gonna cast Emrakul, and like, I always don't have enough mana to cast Emrakul, and you just put it back in your hand, and that's just like something that that just doesn't matter. Okay,
Just doesn't matter.
all right, well, whatever.
Well, he's gonna go ahead and cast the Aether Vial anyways.
Okay, did wind up casting it as well.
Block on Sin Collector. Sin Collector will die.
Yeah, that dies. Let's see. Yeah, okay,
Might
so
as
you
well
got the
shoot it.
brawl. It doesn't really matter. I mean, I guess it
It does matter
does
because it
matter.
takes
yeah,
2
because
mana
it
out of
takes-
Andrew's
it
hand.
takes 2 mana. Yeah.
And it does put Andrew down to 4. Not 74, just 4.
Ooh, 74. Life gain. Actually playing the standard Storm version.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, okay, there it is.
Yep.
All right. You need a lot of stuff here, dude.
I don't know why you're crossing your fingers because Gisling Given doesn't even get him out of this one.
Yeah, that brawl is blocking. That is
And then dying.
that's what
And then
that's
Andrew's
doing.
dying.
Yeah, all right. I can't get a good look at that.
It's a land.
All right, well, you
Crack Canopy.
crack some canopies and just try to peel a lord for lethal, I guess, right?
Yeah. Draw. That's a land.
That's also a land.
Crack a canopy.
Do the other one, yep. See what's
Draw. That's a little tenant. That's lethal.
would have not tapped the
Had to. Ancient Cigarette cannot pay for.
oh yeah, you're
Canopy.
right. Never mind. I thought those were the other ones. What's it called? Unclaimed territory.
Cigarette cannot tap for Horizon Canopy.
Non-creature costs.
And the counters come down.
All right, busting out these dice for about 6 seconds,
And
then he's saying, "You're dead,"
shove.
unless I don't know.
Encroach hard on your opponent's side of the board.
Yes, please do that.
We're not encroaching hard enough.
Yeah.
And he's going to look at his hand. He's going to cast an end of turn gifts.
This isn't blocks, right?
Sorry. This is a before blocks gifts.
Yeah.
For cards he cannot cast.
I'm guessing, I don't know, is he gonna, how many Noxious Rivals does play? 1 or 2?
He can't cast Noxious Rival.
You're right. So he can't even kill himself.
So this is giving away a lot of free information.
I'm not really sure why he's doing this, because he's very dead, right? Unless something we have
Everything
tools,
shoved. Everything
horrendously
shoved.
Wrong. Yeah, that's
Andrew should be at 4 from the last turn's attacks.
Well, get your 50 minutes of camera time in, I guess.
So unless they have the life totals wrong, then, or like something didn't attack for James last turn, Andrew is still very dead.
It says Andrew's at 6, but I don't know how right that is.
Yeah, that's weird. You can block 3 power and then take 6.
Yeah, it shouldn't even matter, right? He should just be dead. Because 2, 3, he has 3 in the air, and you take 3 one way.
He only has 2 in the air. Staticaster doesn't actually have flying.
Doesn't?
No.
Whatever. Oh yeah, oh yeah, okay.
It has a lot of keywords.
It's that pose. It looks like
it looks like it's flying, yeah. But
that's
I think she's more just like gliding on rails or something.
Some dumb Ravnica thing. Yeah.
I like how we're like thinking about this too.
Yeah, does this kind of slow play by either player? Like Andrew shouldn't have even done this, right? And James should have just been like, I don't care, you pick. I think, right?
Sure.
Does this, I mean, honestly,
I don't know why James is thinking about it. None of these cards matter.
Okay, let's also say that Andrew is somehow not dead.
He's at 6,
yeah.
According to the life die.
Yeah, let's go.
We have him at 4 because
I think he tapped for some pain lands, right?
No, because he got hit by the Bugler last turn.
Oh yeah.
He wasn't doesn't attack for 1.
Yeah.
And again, he can block 1 of the 3 power creatures, and then it's 3 plus 1 plus 2 is still 6. And he cannot cast any more spells this turn. He is tapped out. And James is struggling.
James is just thinking, I guess James is thinking like, how am I possible, like, you know, what? That seems like the ones you shouldn't have given him if in theory he's dead.
There was a Gifts Ungiven put on the stack, and then Andrew dies. 1 sec.
That doesn't seem right to me.
Andrew, you're dead.
All right. I'm guessing. Well, I'm guessing they had life totals wrong because Will's a hawk about this shit. So anyway, that was about 10 minutes of decision making that just didn't need to happen. But
no one can freaking count. Apparently,
understand why it happened now. So in theory, if Andrew was correct and he actually wasn't dead, I think James wound up giving him the wrong card still, right?
I don't give him repeal, and I don't give him Echoing Truth. I give him Bolt.
Yeah, you give him Bolt and Past, right?
Bolt and a Braid. I think it was a Braid Bolt repeal.
I thought there was a Past.
No, he changed up his pile.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Anyway, we're going to game 3. Okay, so in that game, James definitely kept like a questionable hand, and it totally worked out because he basically drew everything he needed to tell Andrew to fuck off.
But he wouldn't have lost the game if he just like played his first hand, right? Like turn 1 Vial, turn 2 Thalia, turn 3 Freebooter you, take the Abrade, turn 4 Freebooter you, take something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that his first hand wouldn't have probably just won the game by itself, but I'm saying that it didn't matter.
But yeah, Andrew can't count. James can't count. And 5 minutes was wasted on the Gifts Ungiven that didn't matter.
I think it was more than 5 minutes. James was in the tank for a while on that one, but that's fine. That's the one you actually have to think about, not the pile that just says kill you all of your stuff. Yeah.
I mean, I would have just double checked my count. Is like, oh, you still dead?
Yeah, I mean, miss stuff sometimes.
Yeah, the thing about like a Pass in Flames in that sequence is that the Pass in Flames doesn't even do anything. It's like you have the Pass in Flames into like a 3-mana Braid to kill the Damping Sphere, and then you're out of mana.
Yeah, I guess right, because he didn't have enough land. Yeah.
You only had 6 lands in play, and the Abrade would have, like, the Pass in Flames would have cost 4 from hand, and then the Abrade would have cast 3 from the graveyard. You couldn't even cast the Abrade.
All right, looks like no lands for Andrew. Looks like all lands for James.
Yeah, there's definitely 6 mana sources and a Mantis Rider.
Did it have an 8th Ball in there?
Yeah, it was definitely
does that count as does that count as a mana source? I guess.
Yes.
I mean, I guess so. You don't keep it with 5 lands. That's
Like, it was 4 lands, Aether Vial, Noble Hierarch, Mantis Rider. It's like your best hope is hoping that turn 2 Mantis Rider is fast enough.
You turn 2 Mantis Rider and then you just hope you draw gas. But yeah, that was bad. Anyway, so with both players mulliganing, it definitely favors James, right?
Yeah. Storm is still a density deck, right? Like, it requires a certain number of cards to go off from hand. In Storm's case, the magic number is assuming your opponent has no tax effects on the board. Your mana reduction dude in play, and you need to be able to generate 5 mana post Gifts Ungiven. If you can generate 5 mana post Gifts Ungiven, the Storm pile doesn't matter what they give you, and you'll always be able to cast Pass in Flames and kill them.
Yeah.
And the reason for 5 mana post Gifts is because 5 mana post Gifts means that they've been the if they give you both rituals, that gives you the 5 mana and they're dead. So they have to give you Manamorphose Plus. So Manamorphose Plus needs to get you to 4 mana, and then that's enough.
All right, so it looks like both players kept. I think James on the slower hand. It has Staticaster and Sin Collector. I'm kind of concerned that... Oh, he has Chalice of the Void.
Is that Chalice?
That's a Chalice of the Void.
Well, I don't like playing Chalice on 1 in this matchup because it doesn't do anything. Name Grape Shot.
Yeah, I've no idea. We probably won't get confirmation on what that's naming, but
that is definitely Chalice of the Void.
Yeah, that's Chalice of the Void. But if James knows anything about this matchup, then it's definitely on Grape Shot.
Then name Grape Shot again, and then name Grape Shot again. Not as viable of a strategy post board, but still better than not naming Grape Shot. So you name Grape Shot.
Absolutely. Okay, so
definitely just land Thalia.
So never mind. Yeah, I thought the Melee Mage was a Sin Collector when I was looking.
Chalice on 1 is not where you want to be. The issue with playing Thalia is that you can't play Chalice on 2 then. Looks like he's still going for Chalice on 1 in this matchup. That doesn't hit enough cards out of Andrew's deck. I think it's a mistake.
We'll see.
I think it was literally better to pass than do that. 2 blue mana, so Brawl.
Alright, things real cheap now.
So the Thalia would not have ended up mattering.
Yeah, so this is a position where you actually don't want Dark Ritual in your deck, assuming you can put it in your deck because of this.
Free roll and attack for 2.
Alright, trade, damn it.
And I think James is going to probably kick himself after this game not putting the Chalice on 2.
I believe that says Grape Shot.
Probably. Free roll this attack. You definitely does attack. Don't play the Thalia pre-combat. You definitely does free roll and attack here. Because you have Staticaster in hand. Like, you can force a mistake out of your opponent here, or you can get in for 2 free points of damage if you attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it gets abraded because of the cost reduction. And Abrade costs 2. Oh, is it a bolt? It's an Abrade. Yeah, Abrade costs 1 mana, and it's a 2 CMC spell. So James does not know how Chalice of the Void interacts with cost reduction.
I'm guessing James probably played that because he thought that it would interact with paid mana cost as opposed to converted mana cost.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an honest mistake.
It's one of those things that you kind of have to learn if you're going to play that card, though. It's just, it does only check CMC. But again, I think like not attacking there is a mistake because you have the free roll.
Yeah.
Replaying the Thalia doesn't make much sense. You cannot play the Damping Sphere.
Can't play
Can't
that.
play Damping Sphere.
Okay, he figured it out. Yeah. Yep.
And again, miss opportunity on the free roll attack.
See, this is why we need a table spotter. That's why it should be you. All right, well, Drew is Sink Collector.
But he still can't play 2 spells this turn. Because of his own Thalia. Like,
yeah, so
free roll the attack. Like, this is a complete free roll on the attack. Free roll the attack.
The question is,
you don't attack with the Meddling Mage. You get a free roll. So this is kind of one of the.
So he's probably gonna. Is he gonna give Sin response? Do you think? No. Okay.
So his hand is no action. You're taking the Echoing Truth.
Yeah, that's okay. So James is dead if Andrew peels anything, but this hand doesn't do anything. So
right now, it does nothing.
Take the Echoing Truth. You don't want that to do anything, and then after this, assuming he
there's a Pass in Flames, but like I don't think taking Pass in Flames matters because you're dead if he finds action, not more mana, basically.
Yeah, because Pass in Flames is just essentially mana for the most part.
Like there's 2 Serum Visions in the graveyard, but even taking the Pass in Flames here still seems worse than. Like I guess, like if you don't care about the bounce spell, you can still take the Pass in Flames. And that's fine.
Yeah, the problem is
it
if
just
you
means
give him the Pass in Flames, then
if he draws a Grape Shot, your board is gone. And again, no free roll attack.
Well, now it's no longer a free roll attack.
Sure, but like I don't know, like there's no reason to cast spells pre-combat really, unless it's a Lord. It's a Reflector Mage. I just want to see a free roll attack. Please just attack pre-combat. Please attack before you play any spells. No, he's just gonna.
Yeah, but the problem with not taking the Echoing Truth now is that your Damping Sphere is way worse.
Yeah.
Like yes, he does have to hit it with the Echoing Truth, but like you're essentially only taxing him 1 mana.
And he is just going for the Reflector Mage, which I think is just worse than free rolling the attack into Staticaster.
Yeah, I mean, it puts more power on the board.
Sure, but like if you just have attacked the last couple of turns, you would want to clear out this forever ago. Oh. We're probably just going to see a bounce on the Chalice.
That's really bad. That is really bad for Andrew because if James gets to replay that for 2, right?
Bolt on Thalia. That still sounds bad.
No, Bolt. It was Bolt on Thalia.
But yeah, James now can just play the Thalia or the Chalice on 2, which is a number that matters.
Yeah, so he has to fade, a draw step, but that's it.
And the entire quantity of Andrew's hand, right? Like, yeah, it's attack. Now he free rolls the attack. Gibson given is lethal here. Given that he has the bounce spell in the yard, he doesn't actually need to clear the way of the Grape Shot.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to Grape Shot until it's lethal, basically, because he can just bounce the Meddling Mage and then go off.
Yes.
Playing the Aether Vial here is not that bad. If you can get the Vial on 2, you can play around the bounce spells pretty effectively.
It's better than not playing it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have nothing better to do with mana, but it looks like Andrew has something. If it's Goblins again, I'm going to lose it.
Oh, I'm so ready for him to just get annihilated by Staticaster again. There's your equity for not playing a Staticaster and not doing those pump fade attacks.
Yeah, instead of just like killing the 2 cost reducers and keeping your Thalia in play.
Yeah, that's the
equity.
The equity is to get his hopes up and then just crush them mercilessly.
It's a Pass in Flames.
Okay.
Pass in Flames I'm less excited about because there's only 2 Serum Visions in the yard.
Is he just doing this to try to find something? I guess he kind of has to, right?
He might be.
I mean, it's kind of free because it's
like he has the Abrade, I guess, and he can kill the Meddling Mage if he wants to, but that's a Gifts. Can he cast the Gifts? No.
I don't think so.
I guess it depends on what he drew. If he drew a land, he can cast it.
He has the Ritz, right?
But the Ritz uses last red mana, and then he doesn't have enough blue mana. Because he currently has no mana floating.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, Pyretic Ritual gets him to 3, but then he still needs to generate blue to be able to draw and play it. So he needs a Manamorphose in hand or another land.
Okay, we're casting
Pyretic Ritual.
Yeah.
Casting Bolt. So it looks like he's just going to be cleaning up the board a little bit here.
Okay, so that goes home.
All right, now to know if James knows what number to play his Chalice on.
I'm guessing he learned when it didn't counter a Braid that he needs to put it on 2.
But you see, he might just try to play it on 1 again and play the Damping Sphere in the same turn.
Yeah, I don't. Which is possible, I suppose.
But that is definitely worse than just playing the Chalice on 2. Especially if Andrew's casting as a Braid. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if Andrew casts the Braid.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You should be able to see, like, oh yeah, okay, he has 2 things in the yard that can kill the Chalice.
They both
or
cost
the Damping
2.
Sphere, and they both cost 2.
All right,
Yeah.
draw the Gifts Ungiven, which you can't cast this turn because I don't believe he has the Manamorphose.
Yeah.
And I don't believe he has a land in hand to play it either.
Storm has any 1-mana way to kill a Chalice of the Void.
Repeal.
Gotcha. Okay.
Top.
Is Repeal in his deck?
Yes.
Okay.
We saw it in the main deck.
No, I thought you said cost blue.
No, Repeal costs blue X. Wipe Away costs blue.
Oh,
1.
so I'm losing it all. Dude, I only know Vapor Snag, man. That's the only one that matters.
Vapor Snag can't bounce
fine.
anything.
But it does 1 damage.
No, it's 1 loss of life, which is technically better than damage.
It's better. It is better than damage.
And pass? Is that it? Because he put the ritual back in his hand. Is he going to cast the Abrade? Yeah, just Abrade, I guess.
Okay, I guess so. Did he?
Not that it really matters which one.
That doesn't matter, I guess.
He's going for the Synclider because of Phantasmal Image.
Sure, that makes sense.
All right, just play the Chalice on 2 and end this game. He's not going to do it.
Well, it's the first card in his hand. The second card's Aether Vial, so he's not going to do that in Aether Vial because that's dumb.
Free roll.
Okay, get in there.
Oh man, we were attacking.
Okay, yeah, gotta get him done.
Oh, you're saying that, but
all right, let's see what we got.
I told you. I told you. It's gonna be Chalice on 1.
You see him
plus Damping Sphere.
You see him untap those? See him untap those? He knows.
He knows. James, 2 cards in his hand, and they both cost 2 mana.
All right, fine, you win. I would have lost $5 on this.
God. 2 cards in Andrew's hand. They both cost 2 mana.
Okay, so now Andrew probably kills him, right?
Probably.
Oh, he has the Brawl.
He needs to still be able to beat the Damping Sphere.
Maged.
Yeah, you knew the Brawl and the Desperate Ritual.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, maybe he'll draw another Chalice of the Void.
No, that's a Horizon Canopy. His hand is not great.
Maybe you hope that Andrew makes goblins.
That is another land.
It's a land.
Attack.
Right.
It's free.
Cheap as free.
Attack. It's free. What is he going to do? Block?
Double block.
Oh.
Then it's not free. Then you lose your dude. All right.
Yeah, that's what I thought. What?
Yeah, do that.
Who going to block here? So this Gifts is probably going to get some bounce spells. And some rituals.
Shouldn't he sells the Echoing Truth in the yard, right? Oh, I guess he needs... No, he did, because he doesn't need to bounce the Chalice.
No, he just needs to destroy the Damping Sphere for the game to end.
Yeah.
But he wants at least 3 bounce / destruction spells here, so that he can guarantee 1. So it's probably 3 plus a Noxious Revival.
Yeah, which he can't cast. But he could. Well, he can cast it, but it will likely get countered.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so give him the Noxious Revival, because that does not matter. And
so the rest of the hand is Repeal.
I'm guessing...
so Repeal is still going to be able to bounce the Damping Sphere no matter what, because it's going to be X equals 3. Braid just destroys the Damping Sphere. Wipe Away you can't give him. So the ones that you want to give him, well, actually you can't give him Damping Sphere, and you'd rather, or Wipe Away, and you'd rather give him Wipe Away than any of the other options, because the other ones will only cost Andrew 1 mana.
Yeah.
So you should give him Wipe Away Noxious Revival. One of those cards does nothing, and the other one will cost Andrew 2 blue mana, and then you will probably die. Does not give him the Noxious Revival.
Okay. So it gives him both the bounce ones.
This is best case scenario for Andrew, because that card draws a card.
Yep. Didn't get a good. I think that might have been another brawl that he drew. Okay,
Yep.
so that says to get that thing out of there. Draw a card. Didn't get a good look.
Realistically, as long as Andrew has Ritual plus another Pass in Flames, he'll be fine. Damping Sphere costs CMC 3, because X is 2. And that does not get countered by Chalice the Void, and Andrew will draw a card, and that will get bounced to hand. That is the interaction between cost reduction and X spells.
Yep.
Because you announce what X is before casting it, and then cost reduction applies afterwards. However, if it lets you cast for free, then that's an alternative casting cost of not paying it. And Magic is weird.
Yes. Don't think about it too hard.
Don't worry, Omniscience is only playable in Legacy anyways.
Thank God. Oh my God, I would.
Because there's no way to put Omniscience into play for 3 mana in Modern.
Yet. Well, there is, but it's banned.
Well, Show and Tell has not been printed in a Modern legal set.
No, was it Genesis Wave or what's the suspend one, the green one?
Oh, Hypergenesis?
Yeah, Hypergenesis.
Hypergenesis technically does it for 0 mana.
Yeah. Well, it does it for however much Cascade spell cost, which is like 3.
Yeah, the cheapest Cascade spell costs 3.
But that shit's banned. All right, I kind of tuned out. What's happening?
He casts a Ritual?
Okay, so we're trying to go off.
Oh, there's a Passive Glimpse in the yard. We're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, James is dead. I think James punted this one.
I would somewhat agree with that. But
I think not free rolling a couple of attacks earlier on kind of cost James a lot here, especially when the Electromancer started getting in. That was like a perfect opportunity just to get in, and if he blocks, you kill it, right? And then your Thalia works. So the issue is like not trying to kill the creatures in this spot cost James a lot because he got to basically Andrew got to nullify the Thalia attacks.
yeah, James needed to put that thing on too. It would just make this whole thing like a lot easier.
Well, it would have forced Andrew to have 2 ways to kill it, right?
Yeah.
And like Repeal does do it twice with Noxious Revival, but that costs a lot of mana.
Yeah, and then it's still in your hand, so you get to just do it again.
So
Yeah, but anyway, this is, it's how you learn this shit. By
you see, I don't know if James actually knows where his mistake is yet.
well, I'm sure somebody will tell him. If not, then you can tell him.
Yeah,
Because I know you will tell him.
it should have been put on 2. It wouldn't have made a significant difference here, but because of the gifts being in Andrew's hand, he still would have been able to bounce it. But it does mean that the Brawl doesn't get to hit the battlefield the turn that it did. It means that the rituals are a little bit harder to manage, and Andrew's ways of dealing with the spells are a lot harder. You probably just bin the bounce spells and let him keep the Abrade, and then he has to cast Noxious Revival on his upkeep to get the Repeal back, and then he has to cast a Repeal on the Chalice, and then he still can't bounce both things, so he's in the same bad spot because then the Damping Sphere stays in play.
Yeah.
Or I guess the Damping Sphere wouldn't be in play, but
Yeah, the main
because of
thing,
sequencing.
Yeah.
But
It would reorder a lot of those turns. But yeah.
the general thing is like you kind of want the higher impact spells to resolve, and in this case, like Chalice on 2 is definitely the higher impact spell. And we're going at the Chalice now. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we're killing this because why not? I guess he's gonna Grape Shot Noxious Grape Shot.
I think he has a Manamorphose in his hand, so
Yeah, he does.
it's probably just gonna be Manamorphose.
Oh no, there goes
or,
Noxious.
sorry, Noxious, Grape Shot, Manamorphose into Grape Shot,
Yeah.
Pass in Flames, Grape Shot.
It's a lot of Grape Shots. That's too many Grape Shots.
Well, it's only being cast twice. It's just Grape Shot was targeted like 3 different times throughout that sequence.
Grape Shot. Yeah.
Grape Shot. They are on turns, by the way. They're just slow.
Just timing around.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, sorry. It's Grape Shot. Unsubstantiate my Grape Shot. Grape Shot.
All right. James extends the hand. That's good game. Andrew picks it up 2-1. Storm over
2-1 humans. Loss over Storm over humans. Matchup is pretty solidly favor for humans. I think James' game 1 hand was a little bit too clunky for the matchup, and game 2 he kind of just got there. I think he kind of got a little bit lucky that Andrew had to go for goblins when he had the Static Caster in hand. And then game 3, I think James gave up a lot of equity just not attacking for free.
Yeah, for sure.
There was like a solid 6 or so turns that, or 4 or so turns that he could have just turned his mentally made sideways with the Brawl in play. And if Andrew blocks, you get to kill the Brawl for free. And then you get to follow up for your Thalia, and now the Thalia tax is actually live. And he wouldn't have lost the Thalia the turn he played it.
Yeah.
Right? Because the first Thalia just got immediately abraded because the double tax beat the Thalia on the table.
Yep.
So I think James costs himself a lot of cards in spots where he could have afforded to play a little bit more aggressively. And then also some gaps in matchup knowledge, right? Like not knowing that Chalice is supposed to be on 2 in the matchup.
Yeah.
So unfortunate for James, but still a good play from Andrew. He did kind of have a good idea of where his gifts were going to be taking him throughout the game, and did navigate the game to a spot where it was basically be almost impossible for him to lose once that final gift's resolved.
No, he definitely knows how to run the deck for sure.
So
outside of being unable to count, but don't worry about that.
And he played Affinity. He should know how to count combat math.
What Affinity combat math doesn't matter because Cranial Plane just says this kills you in 2 turns.
So that's gonna be it for round 2. I think they were like literally the last match to finish.
Yeah, well, we need to go pick up feature matches again because that shit should be happening like right now.
Yeah, so we'll be getting a new feature match up for round 3 shortly. And in the meantime, we'll take a quick break while I reset the stream layout.
Yeah. What do you want to see?
No, I don't care.
What do you guys want to see? Anything?
Well, it's probably from some of the top tables anyways.
I've just been throwing darts, dude. I guess I should take somebody who's winning. I didn't even think about that at all.
Someone who counts.
I just want to see cool decks, and turns out that I messed up pretty bad this one, but that's okay.
All right, so we'll be back in a little bit, so stick around.
All right, see you guys in a moment. All right, so us being late to actually go out there cursed us and you guys with watching Storm again, so that's what we're gonna do. He's playing against Wagner, which
it's like one of 3 or 4 different decks.
I'm guessing he's on a deck with white cards in it.
It's either Affinity, Company, or Affinity with the green cards.
Oh, that deck's not good.
Or if he's feeling silly, it could be Griselbrand.
Oh, I hope it's Griselbrand. Oh my god, I really hope it's Griselbrand.
I would doubt it's Griselbrand.
Man, that's if anyone wants to get on camera automatically, just like show up while I'm here and say, yeah, I'm playing
Bubble Hulk.
Fucking Bubble Hulk. What?
What? You get to play the worst
Griselbrand.
reanimation spell Wizards has ever printed.
Yeah, which is really bad, but it still works, I guess.
So yeah, not sure what Wagner's on quite yet. And I agree with Dampingster, by the way. The spell, it doesn't usually work as well as you're hoping. It's kind of a mediocre hoser and then another mediocre hoser.
Damping Sphere is a card that they must do something about or they can't win. But it's pretty easy to do something about it. That's essentially what it is.
Just play Mindbreak Trap.
Yeah. Play Mindbreak Trap.
Mindbreak Trap is modern legal.
I've like never seen anyone get got by Mindbreak Trap. Looks like he has colored lands. I really can't tell what that is over there. Okay, Andrew won the die roll, I guess, leading off on the Spire Bluff Canal.
That's an Inkmoth Nexus?
All right, it's Affinity.
Ornithopter.
That's an Ornithopter? What dumb Ornithopter art is that?
Corsa one? Kaladesh one? Kaladesh one. Yes, Kaladesh. Aether Revolt.
All right, well, how about this one? Oh, that's not on the board. Damn.
Second Signal Pest, Spire of Industry. Go. So this matchup is actually pretty good for Storm. You can kind of just do a mini Grape Shot to clear out the board once, and then go off a little bit later at your leisure.
Yeah, you kind of get to be the control deck. Like, the Affinity deck has to be really fast to kill you.
Seeing this come down, Electromancer on turn 3. So Andrew just passing back. So that's
getting Galvanic blasted. All right, well, that's good. That's an important thing to have to
be dead.
Yeah, to not die.
So 19 all. Master of Ethereum comes down. This is a real clock. So this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7 damage coming across. So Andrew down to 12.
That is a clock. All right, looks like he killed a Brawl, so feels good, man. I think that was a Brawl. It could be Gifts.
Gifts would feel less good right now.
Yeah. Well, plays Mountain.
So Wagner is tapped out. Brawl hits the battlefield, so Wagner could be dead.
Yeah, this could just be game. Storm could just kill you from this.
Passing.
Oh, pass it back. All right. Maybe he's giving us some hope. He's going off at instant speed.
2 Blink Moth Nexuses in play. I like animating both and killing Andrew.
Yeah, I think you just have to go to Murder Town here.
Unless you have a Gal Blast, but yeah, we're seeing double animate.
You can only block the Master, and that kills the Brawl. So
Battle Cry triggers. So
I don't even want to count that.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep. All right, Andrew packs it in because that's a beating. Master of Ethereum's a pretty good card.
7 plus 6, 13 plus 2, 15 plus Master, 21. 21 coming across. Andrew dead.
Yeah, Storm did beat humans.
Yep, Storm beat humans. Rip humans.
Yep. Rare and unusual, but it happens.
So Andrew died on turn 4.
Which is standard.
Standard affinity procedure. It is your stock affinity list with the stock affinity creatures. None of this green stuff. None of the hardened scales and arcbound workers.
Yeah, that's nonsense.
Yeah, nice and interactive magic.
It was interactive. He bolted his guy and then he killed him.
One of the creatures died and then he died.
Yeah,
and then he died.
That's like about as interactive as this format gets, my dude.
Like, what are you expecting? A counterspell? Counterspells are terrible.
They are terrible.
But realistically, they are looking largely to play back past each other. Andrew did have a window where if you could find kind of a mini Grape Shot to clear out the board, he would have been in a pretty good spot, given that Wagner dumped the hand. He would only need a Grape Shot for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to clear up the board, which is pretty reasonable. That's actually not unreasonable for Storm to go off with.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just as a mini Grape Shot.
Yeah, now if I'm Wagner, I don't think I want to get too fancy. I don't think I want to sideboard anything that I don't absolutely have to.
He might have like rule laws in his sideboard if he's like really hateful.
Yeah, he could. Might have thoughts. Do you think probably pulling Thoughtseize, right?
You'd probably bring in Thoughtseize. Andrew's gonna be looking at bringing in his Shattering Sprees likely.
That is a beating. That is rough.
Shattering Spree, another way to beat Chalice of the Void.
And Wagner's entire deck.
Yeah, like every card in the deck.
Like every single card in the deck, including including like Glimmer Void. You kill everything.
There's definitely no more Glimmer Voids in Affinity.
Really? Oh, but did it?
Spire is just better.
Spire is such a stupid card.
Like, it's just a Rainbow Land, but it doesn't always have to hit you for damage.
And sometimes it gains you life. If anyone ever remembers that trigger.
No, you're thinking of a different one.
Oh,
you're thinking of Adventurers Fair.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it's Spire of Industry.
Yeah. Never mind.
It's just better than Rainbow Lands because it doesn't always ping you, and because you're tapping it so infrequently for mana anyway, like colored mana anyways, it doesn't really matter. And you never run the risk of like your opponent just killing everything, like getting Hurkyl's Recalled on their turn, just like be gone artifacts.
Yeah, that's the best thing ever, approximately.
Yeah. Ornithopter is a 4.0 rating with 61 votes.
4.041.
Community ratings haven't been working
in like years.
8 years.
Yeah.
Wizards cannot fix anything.
Wizards is you're right. Wizards just can't fix anything. They're really good at breaking things.
So going to game 2, Storm, like Affinity, they're both decks that prefer winning their game 1s and then hoping there isn't enough strong hate games 2 and 3. Less so for Storm than Affinity, for sure.
Yeah.
But Storm probably not having a ton for the matchup. Like, you have the Abrades and you might have the Shattering Sprees. I don't actually know if Andrew's on Shattering Spree, given that I think we saw 2 Abrades, some bolts, a lot of bounce spells.
Yeah, he does have a lot. It's possible that he just says, Abrade's good enough. That's all I need.
From Affinity, we're probably going to see Thoughtseizes, maybe Spell Pierce, but that seems a little bit ambitious. And
you could, if you get somebody with that, that's pretty good, right?
Yeah, but the issue is, like, generally when Storm's going off, they have infinite mana.
Yeah, but
so you have to hit like an early ritual and hope it's enough to stun them.
Yeah.
And usually that's not the case.
It's more like snap off your gifts at the end of your turn or whatever.
Right. So I think it's super rare where you actually get a window to hit that. But
yeah. All right, so Andrew leading off with a sleight of hand, going to 19 off that. I forget what that land's called. Something Reef, Shivan Reef.
Shivan Reef.
There you go.
Named after Shivan Dragons.
Named after Shiv.
Yes.
Like the place.
Yes,
the place Shiv.
They're very famous dragons there.
Yeah, and some other stuff.
And a very famous gorge that is the weakest of that cycle of lands. Poor Shivan Gorge.
That's good. Oh, that's interesting. Well, that's a slow start. I don't know if I would have opened on that, but maybe that's his only 1 mana play.
If it's your only 1 mana play, that makes sense. If it's not, then...
All right, eat that thing. Yeah.
That's not particularly relevant.
It lets him eat the next thing with more certainty, right?
So, see the Spire come down. We have colored mana. 1 mana. Springleaf Drum. Well, that was the only other 1 mana play then.
Yeah, then I guess you play the thing.
Signal Pest.
No, it's a Vault Scourge.
Or Vault Scourge,
yeah.
You're right. He has 1 more mana available. And bolt it.
All right, well.
That was a good turn.
Wagner's looking pretty good now.
His clock is non-existent, though. And there's another mana dude.
All right, Wagner not looking very good now. He needs to...
If you can kill it and get a clock going, that's the ideal spot. Not a Ravager. You're looking at probably Cranial Plating being your best bet.
Yeah. Okay, so how much life do you need to gain off this Vault Scourge to get out of range?
There's not enough life you can gain. There just isn't. There isn't enough life you can gain to do that. 18 to 19. Yeah, because you'll just get Grape Shot for like the 7th time in 1 turn. Ooh, these are some haymakers, actually.
All right, Andrew's got some work to do now.
Does he have a Hurkyl's Recall? That would just blow my mind here. I just want to see a Hurkyl's Recall to end the game.
That's a Lightning Bolt to stop the clock.
I don't mind using that on end of turn. And yes, it does stop the entirety of Wagner's clock. For 1.
Yeah, Brawl, get in there. With Champion.
All of his lands hurt kind of bad. Okay, the clock is back on. That's a 1/1.
That gets blocked by Brawl. We're casting something else.
2 mana. That's a Cranial Plating.
Okay.
No longer gets... Well, it does get blocked by Brawl.
It gets blocked by Brawl once.
3 mana.
All right, what are we on? This probably...
Pieces. That's
a Pieces.
Really surprising to see that come in post board. A piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
We'll get that up. That one's an interesting one.
Maybe he had the read on his graveyard getting annihilated.
You reveal the top 5 cards of your library, and you choose 2 instants and sorceries and put those into your hand. So in this pile, I like taking the pieces of the puzzle and the ritual. And then there's a Pass in Flames in the yard, as well as a Remand, in addition to 1 land. I don't mind casting another piece of the puzzle here.
Yeah, so he could just do this again if you wanted
and just get a bunch of cards into your hand. He's just going ahead and counting damage.
Mana.
It's going to be getting in for 6 on the next turn, which I think is a totally reasonable amount to take here. So I think taking 1 just to cast pieces is fine. Unless you can kill him this turn, in which case, go for it.
I would be shocked. I'd be a little surprised. I've seen it, but I don't think, based off of the pulls he had from the pieces, I don't think he has it.
Yeah, especially if there's a Grape Shot in hand, so he's thinking about Grape Shotting the creature down.
That is a sad Grape Shot.
But I don't think you have the Grape Shot this turn. I think you can afford to wait. But he's actually just going for it.
All right.
Grape Shot for 1.
That is
upstairs.
That is Searing Blaze without landfall.
Oh, no attack. No attack.
Oh. Andrew, you're killing me.
Brawl not getting in there. Yes, you still activate the relic. And he's just gonna go for the entire yard.
He's gonna blow it up, I guess. I mean,
it does hit a grape
he takes
shot.
out the grape shot, which I guess is probably what he wanted.
And a Passing Flames, I believe.
He also kind of needs to find some action, so I can get behind drawing the card.
Moth, Ornithopter. Ooh, it's a big Ornithopter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 power Ornithopter. Yeah, so I think Andrew jumped the gun a little bit on that grape shot.
Yeah.
Pass on other pieces.
Find something to get rid of this cranial plating, or you're gonna go to Pain Town in a couple turns. Does he have another grape shot in his hand?
Is that a Spell Pierce? Oh, you definitely pay for this. Because I don't think taking 7 next turn is that relevant. Is he remanding? Manamorphose?
Interesting. This is kind of weird.
So he's using the Manamorphose to pay for the entire piece of the puzzle here.
Oh.
Shattering Spree is very good.
All right, well.
Oh, he did not pay for the piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
So you let that get countered. Shattering Spree is pretty good. So he does have Shattering Spree in his deck.
All right, well, Wagner is now back to square one. That is rough. This game has been pretty back and forth for what is supposedly a really
and
not
top deck piece of the puzzle
matchup. No, he had, oh wait.
Yeah, because the pieces got countered.
God.
Well, there's only 2 hits. So
Well,
you get them.
You take those, yeah.
Repeal.
Well,
Repeal is not actually great here because you can't repeal the Link Maw, which is the main threat.
Yeah, but it proofs you against whatever shows up.
But repeal does. Oh no, sorry. The cage is.
Yeah, cage gone. Yeah, cage got annihilated, or shattering Spree. Yeah.
Not pulverized. Pulverized is not modern legal. If only. Sack 2 mountains, destroy all artifacts.
That's a good card.
Repeal on the Mox just to draw a card.
Sure.
And he took a damage for that. His life total is at 9. What? Man, those pain lands really hurt. Yep, that's the 4th one.
He has 4 of them. Yeah, actually, that's wow. I didn't even realize that. That's kind of crazy. I guess he's probably saying, "Look at all these pain lands I drew." I'm pretty sure that's what that was. Geez, yeah. So I'm kind of surprised that he repealed the Mox and not the Ornithopter.
So
although I guess
Ritual,
maybe,
Splice, Ritual, take 1.
Okay, this might just be. He might be just going for it, I guess. I wonder what else he has in his hand.
Well, at least 1 more Ritual.
Well, yeah. Okay, we know he has a Ritual.
But if he has a copy of Gifts, that's gonna be enough. Probably.
I would be very surprised if it was not.
I'm like super off screen now. No one can hide me. No one can see me. It's fine. Good. We Gucci.
I mean, you can like move that over and like scoot over if you want.
No, we good. We good.
All right, you're just my ghost co-commentator.
Yeah. Where is his voice coming from?
Over there.
Desperate Ritual, Splice. Desperate Ritual.
Oh, we're doing this again. All right. Okay.
Lots of mana.
I don't quite know what he's explaining, but I'm assuming he's explaining that
He has no mana floating right now. Is
Okay.
what he's trying to say, because of Spell Pierce or something.
Wait, what? I missed something.
I'm so confused right now. Splice is not that complicated. I mean, that is the art he's using.
Well, let's use the one he should be using. Come on.
Both of these arts are not very good.
This one's fine. This one gets the pass. What's the other one? He doesn't have another one, right? The Modern Masters or whatever one I think is the same.
Yeah, but they didn't reprint Gorgeous Vengeance at the time.
That needs that again. Card's like $50. All right, so Andrew is,
I mean, he's spinning his wheels.
yeah, he's playing cards, and they are resolving.
It's not really getting him anywhere, but
I don't really know what the end goal
flashback pieces.
here is. I mean, okay, well, pieces is gonna find him some stuff.
Hopefully.
I mean, if he finds 5 lands, then that's,
I don't even know if there are 5 lands left in his deck.
well, definitely not 5 pain lands.
Oh, that's.
Oh, well, there's an empty.
I don't think you take the empty though.
I wonder what the storm count is. I haven't been paying attention, and I can't read that die.
I can't read it either. Splice again.
Okay, so we're doing this a lot.
We have a lot of red mana.
We have a ton of red mana. At this point, this deck should just play Fireball.
Banefire you.
Yeah, just Banefire you for game. Why do we need to play 20 spells when we can just generate 20 mana?
Hey man, that's how I feel with Walking Ballista. That's a gifts.
That's gonna wrap it up, I think.
That's definitely enough. That's a gifts I'm giving. And we're still casting pieces of the puzzle over the gifts for some reason. Ritual, Grape Shot, Serum Visions. We're gonna take the Ritual plus the Serum Vision or Grape Shot.
Is he just trying to like intimidate Wagner into conceding or something?
I don't know. There's still one more game, and he's kind of playing kind of slow. But I also kind of doubt that this will take very long in game.
I mean, the first game went real fast, so I guess he's getting his money's worth. Like, you killed me in 4 turns, I'm gonna kill you in like 20 minutes. So this is what playing against KCI feels like, right? Where they just kind of
no,
do a bunch
because
of stuff and
at this
like,
point
whatever.
you should have just conceded with. Well, to be fair, Andrew hasn't shown him the gifts and givens. Okay, he's just conceding now. He's done. KCI, you can't ever scoop until you're dead.
Yeah, because they could fizzle.
Because they could fizzle until they present you like an infinite combo or you're dead.
Yeah.
With Storm, once they cast the gifts, you're probably good to concede.
What's he?
He was going to cast pieces again for some reason. Like, I don't know what he's looking for. He only had like 8 cards left in his deck.
Dang, alternate win con. Opponent decks himself for some reason.
Yeah, cast Ancestral targeting you.
Opponent ran out of stuff to find with Gibson given.
Hey man, it's like one of my favorite win conditions.
All right, get those tokens out of there, Jesus.
You know, it's one of my favorite vintage win conditions. You Ancestral recall your opponent until they're dead.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's this cool card called Brain Geyser.
That makes both players. Oh no, that's target player draws.
Yes, target player draws
force target player to draw.
Yeah.
I think it's like if you look at like the old beta text or something.
Is. Brain Geyser.
It's like yeah.
Draw X cards or force opponent to draw X cards. Yeah.
Alpha. Beta.
That looks similar.
Unlimited. White border. Revised. Also white border.
Must draw X cards. Man, there's no bad version of Brain Geyser. They're all just winners.
And then there's no actual Masters Edition art apparently, even though
it's just the same. Huh. All right, what are we looking for now?
That is a paragraph of text.
Yeah, okay, Animate Artifact. I couldn't even read the damn text because it's so dark.
At least it's not as bad as Anime Dead, which has a literal paragraph.
Yeah, get that up on screen.
No, it's not relevant.
Well, most of the stuff isn't relevant.
Well, one of these players is playing artifacts.
Okay, then go find like an artifact.
We're just gonna go ahead and hide this. We're done with this. Moving on to game 3, Wagner is on the play for the first time. He had a very, very high disruptive hand and no clock. No clock.
Brass man. It's a good one.
So Wagner looking to try to kill Andrew as fast as possible this time. Maybe sideboarded out some of the interaction that he had. Try to force Andrew to interact with him a little bit more.
And that's kind of what I was talking about not getting too fancy. You know, you only have a certain amount of, you know, Affinity is somewhat of a density deck. It's a payoff deck and a density
No
deck.
lands and
It's
bad
got
hand.
one
Oh,
land.
that's not a lot of cards for Andrew. So both players on a multi-6.
Yeah.
This favors neither player.
I mean,
It might favor Storm a little bit more.
yeah. Storm in this matchup can much more realistically play like the kill all your guys game plan. So it probably favors Storm a little bit. But on the other hand, Storm is way more likely to come up with a hand that just doesn't do anything. So
Yeah, like if your hand is all rituals, then you're just looking to try to find. Usually, though, when your hand doesn't do anything, it's just because it's missing a piece. Unless your hand is literally just like 3 gifts on Gibbons and a land and a Passing Flames.
yeah, I mean, I was just thinking like if you just have like a bunch of mana and you're like, that's cool, you know. I hope I find something that kills my opponent ever.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely like one of the things that can happen is like you just have all the mana and no gifts.
Yeah.
And you just can't kill your opponent. Just can't do it. Let's see. While we're waiting for shuffling, this weekend is GP Los Angeles. I'll be playing because I have a free entry because Vegas was that bad.
Holy shit, they really gave you a free thing?
Yeah, free GP entry, so that's why I'm using it.
That's crazy.
I will be playing Turbo Fog.
Yeah, oh god. Is he? Hold on.
It's hard to say. If he's not, if his head is turned away, we can't actually tell. Then it doesn't really matter.
It's hard to tell just from this angle.
The common thing that you usually see is people just shuffling in front of you with their head turned the opposite direction from what the card is face up, and that's pretty typical for a lot of people. Okay,
All right.
there's a lot of dudes, but no payoff so far.
Well, I mean, if he goes next turn, like make anything, that's game, right? That's crazy.
Ooh, that is an opening hand. Pass the turn back. Second land. What do we got? Show me an Overseer. That's nothing.
That's not what you wanted.
All right, in for 2 or 3.
So Wagner was on 6. Would you have kept that hand? You think?
Yeah, I would have kept that hand
Just hope
because any
just hope to
2-drop
feel.
any 2-drop here is like big game.
Yeah.
Your best 2-drop now being the cranial plating.
Yeah, cranial plating good. Ethereum good. Arcbound is okay.
Arcbound is okay, and if you can buy yourself a turn, if you can get to untap before your board disappears, whatchamacallit can also play. Seal Overseer. Andrew's counting. He's trying to see how many turns he has before he dies.
Yeah. That's a whole 4 points of damage, I guess.
And Shivan Reefs coming in hot for Andrew, down to 15.
All right, that's rough.
But that does mean that the 1 clock is also removed from the ground anyways, because the
Mennonite can't.
and that's a
there.
land.
That's rough.
We're gonna go ahead and animate both.
Oh yeah, you probably want. There you go.
In for 2 up to. That's not attacking.
Do we have an infect counter?
Yes, we do.
All right. Somewhere.
I'm gonna find it.
You pass it down. Right infect count. Oh god, that thing is huge. 1. All right, perfect. That's green and horrible looking, like an infect counter probably. Oh, they also represent it on stream. That's good.
So infect at 1, 2 mana. That looks like a piece of the puzzle. Yep. Can't take any of those so far. Oh, okay.
Man,
he hit something.
was that a braid?
Yeah, he hits in a braid.
Well, good against artifacts.
And then he started shuffling his 4, and then remember where they go.
Yeah.
Passing the turn back. So this does mean that Arcbound Ravager is now a significantly better draw than it was before, and Cranial Plating is a significantly worse draw than it was before, and Master of Ethereum is also a bad draw. Welding Jar is pretty good.
Well, yeah, I probably would have attacked first.
No, because I think, well, maybe. You might get 1 point of damage if you do that.
Yeah, gain a life maybe.
Might as well animate both. And
I guess, actually, that's probably good, because I guess otherwise, he probably abrades the Inkmoth Nexus, right?
no, Inkmoth is a slower clock than the rest of the creatures anyways.
I mean, Blinkmoth, sorry.
Sure. So in for just Infect?
Looks like it was.
not that one.
Yeah.
Pieces of the puzzle. I see Grape Shot. Grape Shot seems not good here.
Grape Shot, Shatter Storm, or Shattering Spree.
But neither of them do anything here anymore because none of the artifacts in play do anything.
I mean, I kind of like just having the Shatter.
I like taking the Grape Shot more than the Shattering Spree because, well, I guess you burn the Abrade, so you might want to keep the Shattering Spree now.
Yeah, because you can just force them to blow up everything except for the lands.
Well, Shattering Spree was a sorcery though, so
yeah, I mean not right now,
yeah.
but you know.
So like just getting in for damage here. 2 mana. Heartbound Ravager.
Took you long enough.
If Andrew, doesn't matter which one Andrew actually took here because he's leaving the mana up, so he's gonna go ahead and do the count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he can get the Inkmoth Nexus to lethal. Shatter Spree is a sorcery, right? Like, I'm not crazy.
It might be an instant. Maybe might be thinking of.
Yeah, it is definitely a sorcery.
What was that card then that he played? Was it a Grape Shot?
Grape Shot is also definitely a sorcery.
No, yeah, Grape Shot sorcery.
I am super ready to go out there and yell at someone.
Yeah, what actually got played? It's so hard. I can't see the top. When did I get the... Oh, he pumped it. Okay. Don't actually know what happened. Nothing Wagner had died, so I don't think it was.
I don't think anything of consequence happened.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, Shattering Spree is. Whoops.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely a sorcery. Animate. Go to combat. Lethal is presented, but I don't think you go for it this turn.
Do you not? Wait for Lightning Bolt?
Because you lose to any removal spell, 1 mana removal spell.
So, Lightning Bolt.
Yeah. But I guess if he's animating, he's kind of... I think he's making Andrew have it. So, in that case...
I would have probably just said, you know...
I would have probably just passed. Oops. I think I would have just passed there. Piece of the puzzle. Finds a bolt, finds an Abrade.
There's your Lightning Bolt and your Abrade. Alright, so
Welding Jar cannot save...
He can't save it twice.
The Arcbound Ravager, and he cannot animate the Inkmoth Nexus because he tapped himself out. So
we're getting a big 0-2. It's flying, but you know. It's not even going to be that big. It's going to be... Oh, okay.
He's just passing the turn back with the Abrade.
Well, now we can do Welding Jar stuff, I guess. Sort of.
Nah, because regeneration removes you from combat.
Yeah, I mean it's not... It lets him use it at all for like any kind of value.
Yeah, but that only matters if Andrew doesn't just take the 1, right?
I guess.
And you definitely just take the 1.
Do you not just blow it up? Do you not just like...
No, because if it's not lethal, like, why do you care? You just do it on the end step. Right? Like, don't put yourself in a spot where you could theoretically get blown out.
I guess.
And Andrew disagrees. I want to see a Spell Pierce that he can't really cast. I want to see a Spell Pierce here.
I do not like the Lightning Bolt here unless he has a second Lightning Bolt.
He has the Abrade.
Oh, he'll untap. Yeah.
No, he can cast the Abrade because of Brawl.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Okay. Never mind, this is fine. Ignore me. You can still regenerate it.
Sure, but I don't think you regenerate this one because you're just opening yourself up to 2 removal spells.
Interesting. No, you would regenerate. You would. What I was thinking
if
is
you regenerate the Inkmoth Nexus,
he could like sack a bunch of stuff and put it, and then sack the Raptor, put it on the Inkmoth, and then if he goes to kill it again, then you Welding Jar it, and then you're only dead to like another Abrade. Or I guess non-summon.
Well, I think with the sequence that Andrew went, if you started sacking and then put the counters on it and then Welding Jarred in response to the Abrade, you would have been fine. Pyretic Ritual?
Interesting. Just having
So 3 mana. Shattering Spree is still definitely sorcery. That has not changed.
Yeah, that is Shatterstorm?
Abrade.
Abrade, okay.
Have to move the counter somewhere.
And now just regenerate it.
Sure, that's fine, I guess.
I think that ritual was entirely unnecessary, right?
It was entirely unnecessary, unless he was playing around Spell Pierce.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, maybe he felt like he had the freedom to do that.
Like, that Wagner had Spell Pierce in game 2.
Yeah, that's true. He might have been playing around that. All right, let's look at pieces of the puzzle again.
Acid Flame is probably good enough here. Actually, there's still no gifts, so I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
All right, Storm is 2. And Andrew takes the damage.
All right, here we go again.
Storm is 2, 3 mana floating for Andrew. Too many cards in the graveyard for me to know what's happening. Storm is 3 mana up to 5. Got your sick Dark Rituals. Mana down to 2 and then up to 8. Storm is 4. We have mana. We have mana for days.
You have a lot of mana now.
Up to 10. Storm is 6. Last card in hand is Pass in Flames. Pass in Flames down to 7 mana. Storm is 6. And just a concession.
Dang, that last card in his hand was not
Spell Pierce.
Well, I was gonna say it wasn't Mindbreak Trap, but
oh no, didn't get him. Didn't get him. So Andrew takes this 2-1 over Wagner. Game 1 just kind of died on turn 4. Game 2, Wagner had a lot of disruption but no clock, and then Game 3, Wagner had kind of none of either.
He had the potential for a very fast hand, but it did not come to fruition.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Wagner, he is going to be going down to 2-1, I believe, within round 3.
Yeah.
This was our only feature match for round 3, although
we can pull someone else.
We can try to pull someone else.
This was really fast, so
that's what you think.
Well, the first one was.
And we can see some of the sideboard cards that Wagner had. I think he looks like he kind of overboarded.
Yeah, I think he overboarded. Well, he took out Karns, which I like.
Well, Karns are bad, but Masters are good. And
did he take out any Masters?
I don't think so. He cut Etch Champions.
Yeah, I would cut Etch. That's fine. You can cut that. I mean, yeah.
But that's going to be it for a little bit until we can find either a backup feature or round 4.
Yeah, we will either be back for round 4 or back for the last game.
We're just going to get a quick update and find out what's happening, and then we'll provide some news. In general, I like Affinity in this matchup, only occasionally. The issue for Affinity is, yeah, we're going roundabout. The issue for Affinity in the matchup...
Damn it, Will.
The issue for Affinity in the matchup is, while your clock is theoretically faster than Storm, you can set up turn 3, turn 4 kills pretty reliably.
I'm going to go poke around.
Storm always has the option to just kind of blow their load a little bit early, clear up the board, and then because of the nature of how Affinity dumps the hand out, they have to just kind of take a bunch of extra turns to rebuild. So having cards like Cranial Plating are super important, whereas cards like Seal Overseer tend to be a little bit less impactful because they just die. But that said, Affinity Nut Draws will still turn 3 you, and in those cases, there's not much you can do as a Storm player. You don't play any main deck removal, besides a couple of bounce spells, just to protect yourself from random main deck hate. But beyond that, Storm, not unhappy to face Affinity, but it's not like its best matchup. There are hands from Affinity that just kind of roll you, and post board you do have to play through a little bit of disruption. But yeah, Andrew's still looking good on stream. Hasn't really punted anything away besides a very interesting situation in round 2 where he thought he wasn't dead, and he was very much dead.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, so that is it for round 3. We'll be back with round 4 shortly as things fall in the background behind me.
Are there planks of wood back here?
So that'll be it for this round, and we'll be back with round 4 with probably not our undefeated players because they're probably going to draw unless they want to play for the stream.
Yeah, we'll see.
But that usually means that it's probably Storm again. Yeah, so that's it for now. We'll be right back in probably five or so minutes. 5 to 10 minutes.
10 minutes is round timer, but
Sure. But everyone's already in round game 3s. So we'll be back as soon as possible.
all right, see you.
And we are back with our final round. We're not going to have Andrew back on stream, so it's not going to be Storm again. It's going to be Ami on Bant Humans versus D, who I don't know what he's playing.
We will find out. But yeah, we saved you guys from the Storm versus Storm mirror match finals.
That was probably just going to be a chop anyways. Yeah, you got to get him with the sick sideboard tech of Quicken. So when your opponent's about to kill you, you just go Pyretic Ritual, Manamorphose, Quicken Grape Shot. Kill you? Question mark?
Yeah, and then your opponent plays Quicken, and Quicken's their second Grape Shot.
And then you
lose.
Yeah, because you've next leveled each other by both playing this Quicken sideboard plan.
That is really, truly terrible.
Like, what else can you be hoping for? Yeah, so it's Ami versus D Chu. And I don't know what he's playing, so it's going to be a surprise for us. Ami's on Bant Humans as opposed to the traditional 5-color humans. So he is playing more green and white lands and some blue lands, in addition to Aether Vials. So he's not going to be playing cards like Kitesail Freebooter, but he will have access to cards like Rest in Peace or Stony Silence out of the board if he wants it.
Okay, so if you're playing Bant Humans, you should probably just play Bant Spirits, right? Because I feel like a lot of the power in Humans comes from their cards.
It is Spirits. This is actually Spirits on the right.
Oh my god.
It's actually Bant Spirits.
What a fucking hero.
All right, so it is going to be Bant Humans versus Bant Spirits.
All right, strap in, guys.
Bant Spirits on a Mull. So my opinion on these particular decks is that if you're playing Bant Humans, you're doing it because you wanted to be able to play something like Company, and you wanted to play real sideboard cards, which is the thing that humans can't really do. They have to try to find creature solutions to all of their problems, and some problems don't have good creature solutions. They just don't.
That's not true. But that's fine.
Some problems don't have good creature solutions, as Death and Taxes has proven for years.
Okay, there's not always a good white creature solution. That's very true.
So you're trying to play things like Stony Silence and Rest in Peace, like the bigger haymakers, right? The big white enchantments that just win you the game. Bant Spirits on a Mull to 5.
Yeah, it looks like D was contemplating keeping a 6 with no land there for a second.
If you're on the draw, you could theoretically risk it, but Bant Spirits is a little bit light on lands, about 21 lands, I believe.
Yeah, I think like 22 or something like that.
And Ami's probably on a similar land count, and they're both playing Noble Hierarchs, and D is on Company, but Ami is playing Vials, so we're not going to see Companies coming out of Bant. And that's one of the things that's a little bit interesting about Ami's build, is that he has foregone the biggest advantage of playing Bant over 5 colors is this 2-for-1, this grind game that you don't normally have. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes for Ami. D's hand looking real land heavy, but he kind of needs some mana.
I didn't really.
Or maybe not.
No, I think it's all spells, dude.
So we're gonna see a shock.
Stars of the Hollowed Fountain, shocking, doing something. Ooh, that's a Mausoleum Wonder. All right.
Read him and weep. Avacyn's Pilgrim coming over to Ami.
Oh god.
Because you needed humans to play. Second land, Selfless Spirit in hand for D for sure.
I think you just play it, right?
I think you fetch shock and play it probably. These no white creature decks seem to be very hard for spirits to deal with. Their creatures do get kind of outclassed in combat unless they can get a lot of lords down. And
Ami didn't start with the champion though, so
yeah,
he's gonna struggle a bit in the creature combat, I think.
Yeah, that's that. Well, I mean, Avacyn's Pilgrim could lead to some big turn 2 plays, but gonna see an attack for 2. Mausoleum Wanderer makes Cursecatcher look terrible.
Yeah, well, Cursecatcher is terrible, but
it's a 1-mana elf you got.
An
attack from the Pilgrim, just trying to see if D will block.
Jesus.
And a Vial. So Ami on not a lot of action here.
That's interesting. I'm guessing he scryed the Vial.
I don't think Ami mulled.
He didn't mull. Never mind.
So in for 3.
That's very interesting then.
Ami down to 15 and a pass. So this is Spellcaller mana up at the ready.
He has 2 Collected Companies. Is his leftovers for D?
If that's what he has left over, he's definitely not cracking this fetch land. Second land for Ami, Vial on 1, 3 mana available plus a Vial on 1. The biggest blowout that Ami can have is committing something big to the board and then just getting it spellquellered.
Yeah.
into follow-up land and then company to kind of clean up the game. One of the awkward things about Banned Spirits is that you have cards that you want to play at flash speed. We also have a lot of cards that you want to play at sorcery speed because you want to be able to trigger your Mausoleum Wanderers for damage.
Yeah.
So it's one of the kind of tensions in the deck. Thalia's going to hit the battlefield. D is going to fetch down to 13, so he has decided... Well, with the Thalia, you can't really company next turn anyways.
Yeah, that actually puts the break on company. That's probably the best card that Ami could have played there, honestly.
Yeah.
Now, D might not draw the land, it might not matter, but...
So my experience with Banned Humans personally is... A lot of cards kind of suck, right? Like, Avens the Pilgrim is just not very exciting. And you kind of need it, because you just need to have the extra acceleration in your deck. Oh, that's a big draw.
That is a big boy. All right.
Skull Captain hits the battlefield. This is an attack for 6.
Ooh, don't... Oh, that's flying. Never mind.
They all have flying.
Yeah.
Every creature in this deck has flying, except for Phantasmal Image.
True. Entirely.
And Noble Hierarch.
They might all have flying.
Every tribal card in Spirits has flying. Sideboard, you might see Geist of Saint Trapped, but that's not in the main deck.
Yeah, unless you're playing whatever the white 1-drop is from Kamigawa. But most of these decks are not playing that.
Yeah, that card is not very good though.
Dude, Fogs are great. All right, well,
Kami. So we're gonna see an attack here coming back from Ami. This is an attack for 4.
That's for 5.
Or for 5. It's gonna put D down to 8. 2 mana available for Ami on his Vial. Land drawn for D, but still can't cast the company. Currently just looking in attack for 2, 5, 7, which is too short. If D can play 2 spirits, that's gonna be lethal, and a Lord is also lethal.
Yeah, so he basically just has to hang out here and just hope to peel out. Oh, that's rough. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, so he's gonna have to probably sack his Selfless Spirit here. So you might see a really big gang block on the Thalia to try to open up the companies.
If he can he afford the gang block?
Well, Reflector Mage means he loses. And he can't afford the gang block because it's currently only 3 toughness. So you can throw the drugs.
I mean, if Ami touches everything, and he blocks everything under the Thalia, does he just die?
No, it's taking 3, 6, 7. So D goes to 1, but the Spirit's going to block another 3-power creature, so D is going to be at 4.
Okay.
D will lose to Reflector Mage here, but I don't think there's anything he can do about that.
Gotta take your losses sometimes.
So I think you have to gang block with your Drug-Skull and your Mausoleum Wanderer, and you have to block the Thalia's Lieutenant, and Thalia's Lieutenant sacking the Selfless Spirit just to open up the companies in your hand.
Yeah.
And
if all that works, then that means company this turn, company next turn, which is pretty big.
And you think about it, but I think if you can't take the Thalia off the table, you're in too much trouble right now. And this is actually one of the reasons why company is really awkward in your Thalia decks, is that 5 mana is a lot.
Yeah.
And we are seeing this block coming out of D.
We're making this block, and then I'm assuming
passing priority. You have to sack. It's possible that he lets it go. Yep, sack. Do we see the Reflector Mage? No Reflector Mage.
All right.
Okay, that's
so this is a big deal for D.
Yeah, no damage taken. So I'm surprised that Ami made that attack then, considering that was the obvious block.
Might not have been thinking about it.
So we're gonna see a fetch company coming out of D here, likely for a basic land off the Flooded Strand. Can't wait for it to take too much more damage.
Yeah, you really don't want to.
And depending on what he hits here, another company is just lethal on D's turn.
Yeah, he might get the lethal crackback even without having to cast the second one. Obviously, you're probably still going to cast the second one, just for insurance. But
company trigger spell queller, that's fine.
Yeah, he takes that. That's not a human.
Yeah, it's not.
All right, draw Path to Exile.
That does not look like a Path to Exile. It looks like a Rattle Chains.
Yeah.
So I think you main phase this company.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can hit that's just game, right?
There is no Reflector Mage in the deck, so I don't think there's actually a way for D to put together a lethal crack here. But I don't think holding the company for your opponent to have another opportunity.
You don't let Ami potentially do that again, right?
Yeah. I just don't think you give them the opportunity to queller again.
Okay.
And the other card in hand for D is Rattle Chains.
That's all right.
So, So D is putting a lot of faith that Ami does not have a second Queller in hand. Because if he does, he does lose. He probably just loses on the spot here.
I mean, on the other hand, if Ami doesn't have it, he could totally get blown out in combat.
Sure. And that's true, but these hit to blow out Ami in combat basically are Selfless Spirit or bust. Double Lord still means that a lot of these creatures are trading.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they're the Selfless Spirit's going in there, so he's got to have some kind of confidence, right?
Company. Does this resolve?
Oh, there.
And Ami has it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So that's going to be the blowout, and this is the big reason not to pass the turn on this Companies.
Very lucky.
Well, no luckier for Ami than D drawing double Company.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see scoop him up. Yeah, unfortunately for D, getting punished trying to use his cards at instant speed. One of the first lessons from Legacy, just because your card says instant on it doesn't mean you should do it at instant speed.
Yeah, play your cards as stupidly as possible. Just always. Don't think about it.
You're kind of in a spot there where I feel like he almost kind of overthought it. He tried to play the odds on his opponent having not a second Queller. But I think realistically, that's kind of where you expected the game to go. I noticed that Ami has Worship in the sideboard. Bant Spirits has no way to remove Worship.
I think it plays some amount of enchantment removal.
No, it does not.
Well, that's dumb. You have you have green and white in your sideboard. What the hell are you doing then?
Not that, but he also plays Worship.
Well, okay, this could get really terrible. We'd have a draw in here.
No, someone decks. Worship doesn't say you can't lose.
Yeah, I mean, somebody decks at some point. Sure, whatever.
Worship just says you can't die. It's this is actually one of Bant Spirit's like less good matchups though. It is a weaker creature strategy, so when it comes to just like playing creatures head to head against other creature decks, it tends to be a little bit on the weaker end. Merfolk exempt because Merfolk creatures are about the same size as the Bant Spirit's creatures, unfortunately.
Merfolk's definitely. I think Merfolk is probably favored against Bant just because like you can generate a lot more lords than they can faster. But
you're playing about the same number of lords.
No, Merfolk. Well, I guess it depends on the variant, but Merfolk's on like 12 to 16, and they all cost. They either cost 2 mana or 2 mana and 3 mana.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing the full 16, then yeah, you have Bant Spirits outmatched. Bant Spirits is usually looking at about 10 to 12. But then Bant Spirits is a little bit faster at getting them on the table if they're Bant.
Yeah, it depends.
If they're blue-white, then it's weird.
Blue-white, yeah, I don't know. I don't know enough about this matchup that I've never seen played or anything. One
of the kind of interesting things about Spirits is just, unlike Merfolk, where if your Lord dies, you kind of lose because you just can't get damage across anymore. All of the Bant Spirits cards inherently have evasion.
Yeah, you can still get in there.
And that is one of the things is that Bant Spirits does have Pact Exile, and Vapor Snags can be pretty dead for Merfolk in the matchup.
Yeah, like just Path is probably better than just Member or something like that.
Yeah. Especially when you're trying to race other creature decks.
Yeah.
The full life can make a
taking
huge
4
difference.
sometimes.
Also, like blue deck with Mutavaults.
Yeah. Spirit's probably not a Mutavault though. They might be on
blue-white plays Mutavault.
Does it?
Yeah.
There might be a couple.
But blue-white isn't blue deck. Blue-white is...
No, I know. But I mean, but they're on what's the guy that makes
Moorland
Spirits?
Haunt.
Yeah, Moorland Haunt. Yeah.
Moorland Haunt. That's typically a 1 of in Bant Spirits and a 2 of in blue-white.
Yeah.
I guess we can pull that one up. It's not going to be at its best in this matchup, but...
It's 2 O's, I think.
Yeah, I just didn't hit the O a second time. But this is Moorland Haunt, one of the cycle of 2-colored lands from Innistrad.
Yeah, it's like Gavany Township,
Gavany Township, Kessig Wolf Run,
and 2 lands nobody knows.
Vault of the Archangels.
Vault of the Archangel.
Alchemist Refuge.
Okay, I literally have never heard of that card.
That's 4. Slayer Stronghold.
Oh, Slayer Stronghold's present. Oh, it's a 10. Oh, it's a 10-card cycle.
It's a full cycle. Nephalia Drownyard.
Never heard of that one.
What am I missing? So like, let's get the colors down, right? Announce the color pairs, and I got this. Just do it. Just do the color pairs. I got this.
All right. It's because he's taking Mulligan.
Yeah.
Blue white.
Blue white is Moorland Haunt.
Green red. Hold on, I'm gonna do all blue. Blue white.
Sure.
Blue green.
Blue green is Alchemist Refuge. It gives your spells flash for the turn.
Sure. Blue black.
Nephalia Drownyard, mill 3. Target player's mill 3.
That's terrible. Okay.
It was very significant in control mirrors and standard because it was a win condition that did not take a spell in your deck.
Sure. Blue red.
Blue red is Desolate Lighthouse.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Loot.
Yeah, I knew that one. Like that's all blue. Green now. Green. We already do green, blue. Green, red is
Keswick Wolf Run. Trample
green,
plus X plus 0.
Is
Gavany Township. Team gets +1/+1.
Green, black.
Green, black. This is the one that I forget the most.
Yeah, I have no idea.
That one's got me stumped.
Okay.
So green, black, I miss.
We'll come back to that. Okay. Game starting.
The remaining 3 are the Blood Vault of Stensia, which is the Bolt Face. Vault is not Blood Vault. It's this Stensia's Hull, and Vault of the Archangels, which is black white, and the last one is
which one? Bolts. Wait.
Red black does damage to face for like 6 mana.
Oof. Okay, never mind. I was about to say that sounds good.
It's like 6 mana, and then like red white is Slayer Stronghold.
All right, yeah. Okay, D leading off with a Noble Hierarch here, and Ami with the Vial. So these are basically the starts that both these players want to see.
Yeah, Noble Hierarch definitely better in these kind of matchups. In the sense that getting your 3 drops down in this mat is significant, but lander,
no second land. Looks like Ami has another land though.
So Ami's going to be in a much better spot then, as he's going to be able to develop actually 3 mana this turn and just play Thalia's and pass. Worship in hand for D, so I see why he kept the hand.
Okay, yeah.
But he is going to need some more lands.
Okay, he has a Mausoleum Wanderer in hand.
I gotta look up what this black-green land is.
Go for it. Selfless Spirit coming in for 2. Ami goes 17.
For 3.
Or excuse me, yeah, Exalted.
Exalted is a real keyword.
Yep. Plays a Mausoleum Wanderer and passes it back. So they're coming in. He's gonna take 2. Alright, Ami's getting something that costs 3 probably. Didn't get a good look at the hand, so.
We're gonna find it eventually.
You just go to utility land on the MTG wiki. Jesus, Grim Backwoods.
Oh, okay. I know this one. This one's actually just like only used in EDH, as opposed to most of them, which are also only used in EDH.
All right. Ami Reflector Mage is the Noble Hierarch, which makes sense here.
Yeah, that's absolutely the right call. This is just an attack for 2 with the Selfless Spirit.
Yeah, still no second land for D, so that just really just put him back like 2 whole turns.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of mulled a little bit, unfortunately. This is in for 4. Did the Thalia get in last turn?
Yeah, it did.
So this can put D down to 11.
Yep.
Well, it's hunting for this one land that I can't tell. Hello, Super Cow Guy. How you doing?
Super Cow Guy 1.
Are there some cows? Are you from what's the name of the city?
Oh, Davis?
Yeah. Are you from Cow Country?
Yeah, we know a guy.
So that's a Thalia Heretic Thar. We find a second land, and it's one that enters untapped because it's a basic. But this one will enter tapped.
Does this run any tap lands? Oh, wow. Just the redeploy?
Point, tap.
Oh.
Have to tap.
Oh, he played like a Thar. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, that's good.
Another Reflector Mage here is basically gonna be enough, probably.
If he has another mage, that's rough.
See an attack. This is in for 5/7. Only the Guardian Threadman could even die in the spot. And even if D draws another land, unless it's one of his basics, he still cannot deploy it. His worship.
Yeah,
but he's going to go ahead and take this damage down to 6.
Wait, why can't he deploy the worship?
Unless he draws a basic, because
you said unless he draws a basic. Okay, I heard even if he draws a basic.
Unless he draws a basic, and if he draws a fetch, then that's really bad.
Fetch not good.
The Path to Exile is castable. In might even consider casting Path on one of your own dudes.
Not this turn. Well, I mean, after it blocks.
So this turn you probably have to block. Block. Currently looking at taking 2. So any additional power from Ami's side of the board is basically lethal. And I think you basically just have to navigate this game to a point where the worship can be a game. But if your last creature gets removed, which will probably be that Noble Hierarch left at the when all said and done, you just lose.
Yeah.
So I think passing, block, pathing your own dude is the best sequence that you have, just to hope to get out of the spot. There is a Phantasmal Image in D's hand. I don't like playing the Phantasmal Image because it enters tapped and doesn't block anyways. So I want to maximize my ability to get the worship down next turn. You do get to kill the Thalia.
He could have grabbed a Reflector Mage. And I guess you'd bounce the Thalia.
Has to be Guardian of Thraben, but just gets recast.
Small. Yeah, but it's the same as blocking it, right?
And that's a company, so that might just be game.
That is rough for D. He has to hope for basically nothing.
If he has a Queller, he can...
Oh, he does have a Queller.
You can Queller this, and I think you're priced in.
I think you got to do it, right?
But if Ami has a Reflector Mage again...
Well, you can't beat Reflector Mage anyway,
you can't play around Reflector Mage, so you just have to hope this is good enough.
Ah, you bastard.
Yep, Spell Queller to Spell Queller. That's game. That's actually just lethal on the board.
I'm really glad that this just doesn't happen very much anymore.
As long as Ami hits a creature.
He hit a creature.
He hit 2. 2 Abzan Falconers?
No, those are
champions.
Yeah.
They both enter with 1 counter each.
I fucking hope they're not 2 Abzan Falconers.
That would be weird, man.
This is not that deck.
So 2 blockers.
This is him saying
2, 4, 6, 8. You are dead. So Ami takes it very quickly.
Ami takes a quick 2-0. Let's see if we got another one to...
I don't know. I don't think we actually have a backup, unfortunately.
We don't have a backup, but we could ask someone if they want to go over there.
But yeah, this is a pretty bad matchup for Banned Spirits, just in general. The humans, creatures, while they don't have any evasion, have bigger bodies usually just on the front side. Yeah. And then also has some pretty annoying combat keywords like First Strike, which makes blocking them very difficult.
Yeah, and D definitely stumbled a lot in that second game. In the first game, he...
Yeah, showing off the worships.
Yeah, he won the moral victory because he has black border worships. Get the hell out of here, Ami. Come on, what is this shit?
Looks like that's the only card that D brought in. I don't like Staticaster against spirits.
Yeah, that's the same reason I don't like that card against basically any tribal deck that isn't elves. It's just probably not going to kill anything.
Especially I'm playing Mantis Rider, so I'm just playing 4-color spirits, which are 4-color humans, which seems strenuous on the mana base.
I mean, he has some amount of Cavern of Souls, but that's kind of
4 caverns for that, and that's only 8 sources. Settle the Wreckage seems mediocre.
I mean, it's good. I think it's good. I think you bring it in.
It's fine,
but it's, you know,
I don't think it necessarily does enough. And also, like, Mausoleum Wanderer still kind of gets you beat in the spot, right? Although you're expecting the first card to get cut are the Mausoleum Wanderers.
I feel like you keep it just off a 1-drop, but maybe.
I mean, it's just a weak 1-drop, right? That's the problem.
Yeah, but it's your only 1-drop.
Oh, I don't like Gavony Township in Banned Spirits. It's the only Bant deck I don't like it in.
That is shocking to hear those words come out of your mouth. Oh, okay. I don't like stacking up. Okay, well, I guess we're not gonna do Future Match because we're gonna get Deck Tech instead.
This is the Banned Spirits deck.
Yeah.
It has basics in it.
Yes, it does.
Shocker. Botanical Sanctum is the preferred fast land as opposed to Seachrome Coast because Botanical Sanctum taps for green, and most of your turn 1 plays are green or blue and not white. Your only white turn 1 play is Path to Exile, which if you're pathing on turn 1, you're probably losing.
That is not a good sign if you're pathing on turn 1.
It's not a winning strategy.
I don't know, maybe you're playing against Vengevine or something.
Then you're probably losing if you have the path on turn 1 anyways.
Unless there's only one turn Vengevine. 1, turn 2 rip, easy game.
Hope for the best.
He has good basic lands. Pretty much everyone in the store could learn a thing or two.
I think those are what, Arena? No, Portal.
Yeah, I think the top one is Portal. I think the bottom one might also be Portal. I don't know what the forest is.
I think those are Portal.
Yeah, so no meter vaults in this deck, which is pretty standard for this build.
Yeah, when you're playing 3 colors, you can't really afford to play.
Yeah.
So no Ghost Quarter, but we do see the Moorland Haunt and the Gavany Township
Yeah.
in the Bant Spirits list, which is pretty typical. I mean, my preference for Bant Company decks have always just been the traditional Bant Company Neither Reliquary with some retreats for the YOLO combo value.
We're not going to talk about that. That's not happening.
These decks have a little bit more aggressive lines available to them, but they definitely don't have like the kind of individual raw power behind it, the cards.
Yeah. You think Ami runs Neither Reliquary?
I doubt it.
Probably not.
I don't think he's playing enough forests and plains in his deck.
Oh, that's probably true, huh?
And I don't think he's playing enough fetch lands, because you basically, the mana base builds itself, you're playing at least 9 fetches and at least 8 fetchables. Because otherwise, Neither Reliquary just doesn't really work. And that's not really a deck building requirement, because, shocker, you just want good mana.
Yeah.
And this is how you build a good mana base.
You also want a Bojuka Bog in there.
Not in the main deck.
Well, yeah, I guess.
I mean, you can if you just want to, like, stick it to Dredge.
Yeah, fuck you.
Main deck Bojuka Bog in Amulet Titan. Wins me many matchups for no reason. Hey man, I've killed Teferis with my engineered explosives.
Jesus, that is rough.
That Bojuka Bog taps for black, dude.
Yeah, it does.
I've blown up many big things. Full deck tech. Damping Sphere is super medium.
Well, we're not actually getting the
actual cards.
The actual cards.
The main deck cards are probably exactly what you expect. So he's on Kasali Prime Mage. He should have brought those in.
Mage.
Because you should 100% expect your opponent also on Bant.
Green White doesn't have any way to kill worship.
No, I'm not saying Green White doesn't. I'm saying Bant Spirits usually doesn't.
Well, I'm pretty sure they've played Pride Mage since this deck existed.
Nah, the first list to play Bant Spirits with the new Supreme Phantom.
No, not the new one. I mean, like the old one.
Oh, the old one definitely did in the main deck, but the current version did not.
Was it in the main deck? I don't remember.
Yeah.
The old one had Rock's War Monk, which
in the sideboard.
If you don't have that in your deck, you're not cool.
Rock's War Monk is terrible.
Dude, how does Burn beat that card? They literally cannot beat that card.
It's a 3-mana 3/4.
Yeah, with lifelink. Has everything you could ever want. Has 4 toughness and gains you life.
You know what else they probably can't beat? Like a Baloth.
Yeah, but that costs double green, and also it's lame, and also only gives you life once.
You know what they'll say?
You also can't company into it.
You know what else they probably can't beat?
What?
Just a Blessed Alliance.
Yeah, they probably can't beat like Feed the Clan. Yeah, like whatever.
Well, they definitely can't beat Feed the Clan. Well,
yeah, they can't. I mean,
they also probably can't beat a Dragon Claw.
No,
a Sun Droplet.
They can probably beat Dragon Claw against a not red deck. They probably can't beat Dragon Claw from a red deck.
You know, it's like really rude when they play the second Dragon Claw with their pain lands. You know, it's like I can't win anymore. This game is over.
God, if I'm ever in the position of playing Burn and my opponent plays 2 Dragon Claws against me while they're playing like
Sun Droplets. Sun Droplets.
Oh, Sun Droplets. What's that's
when you
Dragon
take
Claw,
damage and you put counters on it, and every upkeep you remove a counter and gain a life.
Oh god. Okay.
So if you have 2 of them with a pain land, the pain land activation gives you a life, gains you a life instead of making you lose life.
All right.
There's a really rude white enchantment that is definitely modern legal that I can't remember the name of. That whenever a mountain is tapped for red mana, tapped for mana, you gain a life.
That's dirty. That is rude.
Let me see if I can find that. That card is rude.
Yeah, go find that.
Hate cards MTG. Why we make hate cards? You don't make hate cards anymore.
Yeah, that was from 2017. What the hell are they talking about?
A glaring spotlight on hate cards. Let's see if this is a good list. Hex Parasite.
Wait, why is Grafdigger's Cage in the bad?
I don't know.
That card is really good.
I want color hate cards though.
Like,
all right, color posers MTG.
There you go. Sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah, how about Teferi's Moat? Hey, that's just Moat, but worse. But probably doesn't cost like $1,000.
Hose black, hose blue, hose green, hose red.
Like good. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that guy. Look at that guy's face. He's so smiley.
He's also so bad.
What's he do? Oh, he's not very
White,
good.
white, tap, destroy target, red, permanent. Where are you at?
No, it hoses red. Oh wait, no, this is never mind. Oh yeah, you gain 1 life point each time one of opponent's mountains.
It's not this one though.
becomes
I know there's a
tapped.
modern legal version of this.
Is it not modern illegal?
This one isn't.
Okay.
Sanctimony. There it is.
Sanctimony, 8th edition.
It's just a super strictly better version of Lifelink. Or
Well, that
Lifeblood.
only costs 2 mana.
It costs half as much and does the exact same
Jesus.
thing.
No, because that's tapped for mana. This is tapped, period.
Sure. So you can't like rush it and port your opponent's land in modern to gain 1 life.
This what's this called? Lifeblood? Lifeblood plays around Koth of the Hammer. It does, right?
Yes?
Like, come on.
But anyways-
you can't tell me that's not relevant.
How does Burn beat a hate card as narrow as this?
It doesn't. You just pack your shit up and leave. Actually, no. You never. I lied. You have a really easy way to beat it. You play fast lands.
Yeah, that
Game.
actually, that plays.
Easy.
But you only have 4. The rest of your lands are mountains.
Sounds are fetch lands.
Which fetch
Like,
mountains.
and mountains.
Those are mountains.
Whatever.
All right, so that's gonna be it for this evening. First place is gonna be not Ami because Ami was 2-1.
No.
He got the pair down. So first place is Storm. Second place is Storm.
Presumably Storm.
Third place is probably D on Bant Spirits.
We don't even pay out to placing. I mean, we don't even play out to.
No, it's paid out by record.
Yeah, it's play out by record. Who cares? A bunch of people made 3-1 probably. Go for them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what pricing was like or who prized or anything like that.
All you have to know is that this card exists.
Oh, yeah.
It hoses people who want to play red cards by tapping red lands.
But it could be this card. Oops, it went down slightly.
Which is from Legends. It costs 4 mana.
1.838 community rating. God, these guys. Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah, because the card costs 4 mana.
Okay, yeah, you could have just played like Armageddon, I guess.
You could have just played Circle of Protection red.
Yeah.
How do you beat that?
They don't.
Is that modern legal? I think they're modern legal.
I think they are. Circle Protection Shadow. Ooh.
Black.
No, that's for Shadow.
Yeah, 9th edition. These are modern legal.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah.
If you really don't like losing the burn,
Yeah. Cop Red, literally not beatable.
well, Skullcrack.
That's cool. Then you just do it again.
Skullcrack says you can't prevent damage this turn.
Well, no, you do it in response. Well, okay. Yeah, I guess. Whatever. Anyway.
But this card is still very rude.
Yeah.
I think I turn 1 this a couple times against Burn and Legacy. And I also had a Painter in that game, so I'd name Painter on red, and then would target my Ancient Tomb, and then tap my Ancient Tomb for mana, and then I would not punch myself in the face for 2.
That's good.
Well, here you go. We got some hate cards for you.
Don't play these.
Cop Red. Literally any card with the word Soul in the name usually plays. Soul Warden, Soul Attendant. Those usually play against Burn. Any card that says you gain life in a way that doesn't suck. One of my personal favorites is Hallow. Hallow is one of my favorites. It's 1 mana, prevent all damage from target spell. You gain life equal to the amount of damage prevented. So if your opponent plays a Searing Blaze on your creature and you're like, Hallow that, you gain 6 life.
Yeah.
And then your opponent probably concedes.
And then if you're playing against literally any other deck that isn't burn, you concede.
Yeah, because you shouldn't be mainboarding Hallow.
Yeah, or even sideboarding it.
I've considered sideboarding it. And there's Core Firewalker.
Is it spell or source of damage?
It's prevent from a source of damage.
Okay, so you could like
Let me see.
prevent yourself from getting murked by a. Never mind. I guess you want Deflecting Palm.
It is target spell. It has to be spell. But it does work against Deflecting Palm still.
It does counter Deflecting Palm. I was thinking more like.
Well, it hard counters Deflecting Palm. Like, you still gain the life. You just gain life equals whatever they want to prevent. Yes, you can use Deflecting Palm against, or Hello against Deflecting Palm. Because what happens is Deflecting Palm is the source of damage.
Yeah.
To your face. And all that damage is being prevented.
You're bad influence, by the way.
This card is from Darkseal. So it's definitely modern legal. I'm not saying this card is any good. But it does have a 4.0 community rating on Gatherer.
What? Bullshit. Who are these people?
57 votes too. That's not even like a small number of votes. Like, a lot of people have agreed that this is approximately a 4-star card.
Who has ever played this card?
I have considered it.
This must have been like, oh wait, no,
For Death and Taxes mostly.
this was in standard with like that fucked up goblin deck.
Skull Clamp Affinity? Or Skull Clamp decks?
No, once that shit got banned, it was like the goblin deck out of Onslaught, right? I probably played stuff.
This card wouldn't be very good against them. Because it's a target spell.
Yeah, I guess.
And Goblins is turning creatures sideways. This only works against spells.
I mean, goblins are spells on the stack.
And it is a legal target for Hallow on the stack.
Are there any goblins that do damage on the stack? Are there any spells that do damage while on the stack? Oh, this is good against Lightning Storm.
Yes. There's not much they can do about, I mean, besides play the 3 pack negations in their hand, but
Not a card.
you know what's better against Lightning Storm? Just having a Kira in play.
Yeah, having Kira in play and a land in your hand. Yes, that is the best counter.
It's just like, I'll pitch a land, target Kira's trigger.
Also my personal favorite counter.
My personal favorite counter is Unified Will, so.
Yeah, but that loses pack negation.
Yeah.
If that's what we're talking about. Kira, assuming it's already on the board because you were
just
god and drew
just
your one
cast
Kira.
Counterflux.
Sure.
Cancel, but it costs red and it's uncounterable. But yeah, so that's going to be it with this one particular burn hate card that is more narrow than good. If you want more hosers, I would probably recommend Sanctimony over this. And even before this, I would probably just play Cop Red. Cop Red's probably your best bet.
Where to cop red?
Other options are like Rest for the Weary. I think that one like gains you 10 life.
You missed a Legion plug, by the way.
Sure. This is Collector Legion. We live in Gardena. It is affectionately known as the Hood. It is a hood,
Really
at least.
selling this. You see, no, I was like, where to cop red, and you could be like at Collector Legion, where we are right now at that address, whatever is. Hold on, where?
It's Normandy, South Normandy.
Here we go. It's like above my finger and past that card.
It's like well past that card.
Show up and buy red sideboard hate cards.
Yeah, our general weekly schedule is Wednesdays is Modern, Monday is Standard, Thursdays is Legacy
and Miscellaneous
and other various things. Friday is
I know Pauper happened here once.
Friday is FNM, which is mostly Modern but sometimes Standard and Draft
or Standard or whatever.
Saturdays is usually Draft and occasionally Modern events. We'll fire randomly throughout the day. Sunday usually reserved for major events and not much else. Yeah. Although this weekend is GP Los Angeles, so unlikely that, I mean, most of us are rolling up to show up there. I will be playing Turbofog. I will be playing Turbofog.
Won't catch me alive at the fucking Los Angeles Convention Center.
I'm planning on just like Ubering to a metro station and then metroing my way up.
I'm planning on sleeping.
That sounds way more reasonable than paying $30 for parking.
And however many dollars to get hosed in a format I don't play.
Free for me.
Yeah, for you. But you already played. Okay, how much money did that actually cost you?
For Vegas?
Yeah.
Like $200 for my flight and my hotel.
Yeah, that shit ain't free.
Sure, but I had a good time in Vegas. That was good.
And you can't put a dollar value on happiness. That's a lie. You can, but we're not going to talk about that, I guess.
I believe someone's quantified it. But yeah, so that's going to be it for...
I mean, if there's a dollar value on a human life, there's got to be a dollar value on happiness.
I'm sure someone's calculated it.
The EPA or FDA or somebody.
So that is going to be it for the evening. Modern, as per usual, on this Wednesday night. The next regular streamed events probably are FNM. I won't be commentating that because I play a different shop on Fridays.
I also won't be commentating on that because I'll play at a different shop on Fridays.
We're both apparently part-time shop players here. I like Legacy. Legacy is my bread and butter format.
That's why we're commentating and not playing. That's how part-time we are.
Yeah. Magic is hard.
Magic is very easy, unless you were some of the people who watched play on the stream today.
So that's going to be it for this evening. Until next time, I am William. Wyatt was joining me on commentary for the first time for this modern evening because he has gotten sick and tired of losing with Dredge.
And Slivers. And folk.
So he's officially tilted off of his decks because they're bad and has escaped to the commentator booth where he won't be persecuted for his poor decisions.
I gotta persecute other people for their poor decisions.
Instead.
Yeah.
So that's going to be it. Do you have any parting thoughts?
You said that's going to be it about
4 times. Don't worry.
4 times over the last 5 minutes. But outside of that, no. We'll see you guys whenever we see you guys.